Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and it's a very special edition of Unger the Radar presents Movie Commentaries. And tonight we're going to go back to 1978 for Richard Donner's classic superhero film, Superman the Movie. And we're actually going to see the special edition, clocks in at 2 hours and 31 minutes, and is a very adventurous, a lot of fun. It's just a great film. It basically is the birth of the superhero genre. And we have Richard Donner, the late great Richard Donner.
Legend.
We're actually,
God rest his soul.
we are honoring him tonight by doing a commentary for Superman the movie. And with me, I have a wonderful panel of guest commentators. First off, we've got Mr. Jimmy Chung, all the way out in Toronto, Canada. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you for having me again.
Anytime. And with me in person, Mr. Matt Haberman, fellow New York City Ghostbuster. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us to be together inside watching a movie with friends again.
Yes, this is very weird right now, but awesome, I must say. Forrest Bennett, I've seen you on Zoom for the past year, but
yes, but it's nice to finally do a show in person.
Yes, definitely.
Again.
Welcome back. And Mr. Vinny Bonfanti, welcome back, sir. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. This was the one to come out for, though.
Yeah.
This was the movie.
I know you're a big Superman fan, fan.
Favorite movie of all time. This is the movie that got me into wanting to make movies, learn about them, everything. This truly made me believe a man could fly.
That's so awesome.
And that's what they wanted you to believe in the trailer.
And they did.
In the poster, too.
They did.
So that's amazing. And I'm really happy that we're going to share this experience tonight. It's a lot of fun, this movie. Richard Donner, I'm hoping he's watching down on us right now from heaven. And we're just honoring his memory right now tonight. This is going to be really super. So I have the special edition of the movie right now on Amazon Prime, ready to go. Jimmy, are you ready to go on your end?
I am all ready to go. You let me know when to press play.
Sure. So I'll count down from 3, and when I say play, we will press play. So 3, 2, 1, play.
And old school WB logo.
Yep.
Yep. Perfect.
We're synced, guys. We're synced.
Now that logo has changed.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
The late great Jeffrey Owensworth as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cinematographer.
I love this part.
I love this, absolutely, 100%. I'm actually kind of saddened that in Superman Returns, it was originally supposed to start off like this, but they chickened out and just went with text on screen.
That would have been awesome
They
if they
didn't
did
want to
that.
mimic it. And
The
then
first
they actually have, when you watch the special features on Superman Returns, the kid who plays the son,
Yep.
he actually, whatever the text was on the screen, he read out to the comic book. They actually have that on the special edition if you watch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I own a reprint of the first Action comic.
I do too.
nice.
If I owned the real one, I wouldn't be here tonight.
Yes,
If I own the real,
$3.3 million.
if I own the original copy, I probably would be missing some vital organs.
It's awesome.
You know, this is the film that quintessentially started the superhero genre.
Yep.
You know, it took something which was meant for kids and turned it into something serious, all to where even, Christopher Nolan pretty much made the Batman movies in the same formulaic of this film. Kevin Feige, who, I don't know, little trivia, Jeff Johns, who works at DC, and Kevin Feige, who runs Marvel, were both interns for Richard Donner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no way.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And they learned from him, and Kevin Feige has stated every time before we do a Marvel film, we watch Superman the movie. It's still the perfect formula for a superhero.
Oh my God, yeah.
Golden
So great.
standard.
Golden standard.
78, this was so revolutionary.
Yeah.
Like,
And just the way the effects were in the opening title credits.
Oh my God.
everything.
The opening title credits are my favorite, including them seeing this.
Oh, and John Williams as well. My goodness.
John Williams is the man.
Like Richard Donner says, I hear the music say Superman.
Yep.
Let's say Superman.
That's great.
And all this stuff right here, all this little flares and everything, that's actually algae from the bottom of the sea lit up specifically.
See, I didn't come across that.
I knew that from the special features on the
Okay.
2000.
Yeah, commentary tracks.
That too. So
Jackie Cooper, old-time
Who
actor.
also directed episodes of the Superboy TV series.
Oh, really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
I remember that not being very good.
I loved it.
No.
It was actually
It was basically the Saul Kynes' last hurrah with the franchise.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was
1988.
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
It was
100 episodes.
It was in syndication. They taped it at Universal
Oh,
Orlando.
God rest
Yep.
soul for Margot
Margot
Kidder.
Kidder.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Great Lois Lane.
I actually didn't get that channel for Superboy as a kid. I would have to hold on to like bunny ear antennas and just get it the right way just to get some semblance of what was happening on that show.
Yeah, then when they finally, the first season came out on DVD, but then the other 3 took a while because there was a legal battle going on with the Superboy property.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Actually, Joaquin Phoenix appeared on the show.
Yep, Little Hercules,
Yep.
Little Hercules
That's
episode. Yep, when he was called Leaf.
During the legal battle for Superboy, the rights to that, they actually had to cancel Superboy in the comics. That's why he died. It disappeared for a bit. He's back now. Everything's fine, guys.
Apparently, in that series, he auditioned to play Superman on Lois and Clark,
Gerard Christopher.
and they turned him away.
Oh, really?
They said because he got it. He actually won the role, and then when they found out what he did, they're like, "You've done this already," and then they got rid of him. So there was actually 2 actors. You had John Haynes Newton, who got fired after the first season, and then Gerard Christopher came in.
So they wanted they wanted to give someone else a chance.
A fresh start.
Yeah, I mean, it was a totally different iteration. Also, Lois and Clark was written by a woman who did soap operas. You know, so.
It did kind of feel like a soap opera.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually my least favorite thing of Superman.
I will say though, Terry Hatcher is probably.
Oh no, she was one of my favorite Lois.
Well, she's
Lanes.
beautiful, but Dean Cain was pretty good Clark Kent in my opinion.
I'd just say the most recent Superman
On
on
Lois is my.
Superman and Lois.
It is the
Yes.
best Superman product we've got since this. I feel.
Whoa.
I 100%
Agree.
agree with you. 110%.
He wasn't Superman.
He
in
didn't
Smallville.
wear the suit.
Like I'm saying,
Yeah.
Superman content. I think Superman and Lois nails it.
Outstanding. Literally, that's the Superman I was looking for. A man about hope. Wow.
It's new, but feels familiar, and that's what I've always.
100%.
What Christopher Nolan did with the Dark Knight trilogy. It was new, but it felt familiar. That's why I'm not. I mean, it might cause haters who watch this. I'm not 100% behind Snyder's stuff because I feel.
I'm not a fan either.
Yeah, I feel, and I love Henry Cavill. I think he's awesome.
hmm
A little bit of that part, like that first 5 minutes of Superman and Lois, that first episode, I was bawling on the floor crying.
Yep. Same here.
I'm with you, Matt. So do you have to catch up on anything else before you get into
No.
Superman and Lois?
No, you don't. You can. It almost feels completely segregated from everything else that's happening in the CW.
Although
Yeah.
I would say watch the Crisis on Infinite Earths because Brandon Routh came back as Superman.
Yep.
And he redeemed him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was happy to see him get another chance to wear the suit.
Yeah, I met him too. He was really nice.
Hmm.
And he said when they hired him, they pretty much said he wants you to be Christopher Reeve 2.0. And I think with the boots he had to fill, he did a really good job.
Yeah.
I just think the story was too much.
Yeah,
This.
the story and direct. Yeah,
It
it
was
seemed
too much this.
Yeah.
It felt like Singer wanted to remake this movie.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
And he didn't know if it was a sequel, a prequel.
It didn't have heart.
And then if you played the video game, you found out why he goes to Krypton because those were made believe Krypton was still alive. That kind of.
No,
It was a
no.
lot.
Feels like this Krypton right here. It's not even like a planet, just like little blue lights.
How amazing is this movie though, where like all of this gets ported into the comic books now these days? Like all these crystals and stuff that wasn't there before. This is all. It's all because of the movie.
Everything since this movie, the comics, a lot of the shows till this is stay. This was like,
Yeah.
this is what Superman is.
This is Krypton.
Yes.
And Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, they respected this movie. They loved it.
well, when they
So a
were,
quick fun fact: the music that's playing here actually is the first song I played for my son. His name's Connor Kent, by the way.
boy, it's
Is your daughter's name Kara?
no, it's Rose.
Didn't Nicolas Cage name his son Jor-El?
Kal-El, yeah. I'm not that brave, sorry.
Now here we have the late great Marlon Brando.
Jor-El.
Who wanted Jor-El to be played as a Beethoven.
Yeah.
He lied about that with Richard. He was testing him.
They were testing because the thing is about Marlon Brando, if he could do, he got paid $3 million for a week
For 12 days of work.
12 days. At the time, that's
And he was reading cue cards off the baby's diaper.
Yep.
Yeah, he put cue cards everywhere, actually.
He never learned his lines. He would show up on set. They have cue cards behind the
They
camera.
said he was lazy.
Oh, he was lazy. So if he
It was
could
just
do,
a
yeah, if he could do work
right.
without doing anything, he would do it. So
Yeah.
he said to them, "Oh, what if I play like a bagel because he's an alien, and because I send my son to Earth, I create him in the image of a human." And then Richard Donner said, "No, it kind of makes sense, but no."
It was either a green briefcase or a green bagel.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But I just like the uniform that he was wearing, like, because as we know, it was Superman and Kal-El, just the S.
Each house
House
had
of
a
S.
crest. But
Right.
at this time, the S didn't mean hope. It wasn't until Mark Waid wrote Superman Birthright that the S stood for hope. Which is an awesome comic if anyone has a chance to read it. That's what they should have made the reboot of Superman.
So it's just an S here.
But you know, the original script of this movie was very comedic, very silly, and it was Tom Mankiewicz who really spiced it up a little bit and made it more regal and grand. You know? And
Well, this is what I love about, if you're listening to the dialogue right now, this is the words they're using. They're like 3 syllables and up, guys. Like, this is not meant for kids. Like, it is for kids, but at the same time, adults are watching it, and like, kids are going to show up because it's Superman, but make something for the adults too. Like, you know, like a riveting storyline and drama. Look at this, you know, the acting is top notch as
It's a great
well.
movie
Terrence
for-
Stamp, my goodness.
For kids and adults. Yeah. Definitely.
because they did this movie because they were shooting 1 and 2 back to back. That was
Yes.
Well, originally, Mario Puzo wrote a 200-page script, which they split up into 2 movies.
Yeah, and then Tom Mankiewicz came in and kind of wrote the love story and everything like that, and this stuff.
But
Tom
the,
Mankiewicz was great.
but the second movie, Superman 2, has a lot more humor and slapstick.
Well,
A lot of
because
Richard Lester.
Richard
Right.
Lester came in,
Yeah.
it's kind of like what they did to Tim Burton on Batman Returns, and the same they did with Zack Snyder and all that.
Interesting.
So Richard Donner was arguing a lot with the Selkites, not so much the son Ilya, the father Alexander, because he was very much a penny pincher.
Mhm.
And Donner was stressing the fact, like, hey, listen, we're doing Superman. You want the guy to fly, you got to spend the money.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing something never done before. And I forget the other producer's name, but he had a lot of arguments with him. And it got to the point where they wanted him to focus on Superman 1. And then Superman 1 came out and became such a huge hit. Richard Lester, who worked on like 3 Musketeer and 4 Musketeer movies, that was their go-to director. He was like a mediator on set. So that when they fired Donner to finish Superman 2, you know, he came in and put his style on it. That's why the Richard Donner cut, I feel, is superior because it matches it more tonally to what he wanted.
Yeah. I watched the Donner cut of Superman 2 yesterday.
Oh, love it.
Yes.
Way better.
I didn't see or feel any difference
It's a bunch of stuff.
between that.
There's a
and-
bunch of stuff for sure.
I don't know. It just seemed longer.
No, it was a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Like the scene between Lois and Clark where she pulls out a gun and everything, but it had blanks in it or whatever. That was super cool.
I mean, there's
In the Donner cut.
And in the beginning, when she draws on the newspaper, the hat and the glasses,
Oh, that was-
that was-
Yeah.
Glad. Okay.
they cut out the Niagara Falls scene when she falls over. That's not in that cut.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When they go into the hotel, it's completely different. How she
No,
winds up at
the
house.
whole thing with the abandoned zone is
Yeah. Well, because the ending of this movie was this. The ending of this movie was supposed to be the original ending for 2 when he turned back on.
Mhm.
That's
Can
why.
I ask you guys a question? My friend and I, we had the exact same, like when I was a kid, there's a scene that just passed where Zod, he's speaking with Jor-El and he's all like, you will bow down before me, Jor-El, both you and then one day your heirs. When I was a kid, I didn't know the word heirs. And so I was like, both you and then one day your ass. And I'm all like, whoa, he just went gangster for a bit.
Savage.
Did anybody else get that? No?
Yeah. The way he says it, the way he yells.
Yeah.
No, that's just aesthetics. They never
Oh,
really
what?
mentioned
Oh,
the
the
spinning thing.
oh, I think you meant the outfit.
No, the outfits actually
That's a special.
They're made by 3M.
it's reflective, so when you shine a light on it, it glows.
Right,
It's
right.
actually gray. And each part, if you look at the ripples, each part is glued on.
That's cool.
So it's not even one piece suit. And they said it get really hot because they had the stage lights on.
Yeah.
To reflect it.
It looks so cool though.
And they shot in London, so all these actors right here are prestigious
Right.
London actors. That brought weight because they shot at Pinewood Studios, which
Right.
was known for doing all the
And
Bond
Bond
movies.
And Brando kind of puts on a British accent a little.
Yeah. Listen, they let Brandon do what they want. It's like we got Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando. There's some actors where just let them do what they want.
Same with Jackie.
And Clint Eastwood.
Well, it was him and Hackman, which were the tent poles.
Yep.
They got them before the movie was even started. So that brought in all the attention, like, hey, something's going on here. This could
Yeah,
be
their
serious.
names came first in the credits before
Three.
Three,
Same with the second movie.
But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Reeve only did one other movie. It was called Gray Lady Down. It was a submarine movie. He had a couple of scenes in it with chalk testing.
Hmm.
But this was all Donner. Donner fought to make the movie like this. They wanted to be more comical. I don't know if you know this. Jeff Johns originally read the 800-page original script, and Telly Savalas was in it. You know,
Yeah.
where Superman flies by and he comes out and goes, "Who loves you, baby?"
Oh, yeah.
At one point, Elia Salkind's ex-wife's dentist auditioned for the role.
Right.
You know,
But they said
That's how desperate.
he was too
Yeah,
old. They
yeah.
said
they wanted Burt Reynolds, Sylvester
Stallone,
Stallone,
John
Schwarzenegger,
Travolta.
John Travolta.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, but his accent hurt him.
Yeah, but they didn't know what Superman was going to look like. It was supposed to be big, whatever. But
Robert Redford, I think, was too
Burt
expensive.
Reynolds, Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
all those guys.
Sloan would have been.
Do you guys know if the Salkinds look back and they're like, oh, I guess Donner was right or whatever? Do you think they ever did that?
The Salkinds got driven out of Hollywood.
Yeah,
So
because they were like nickel dimers, you know. Like this movie, needed money to do what they did, and they didn't want to spend it. And Donner was like, "Hey, you want to make a good movie? This is what you got to spend." And there's still a lot of things today I still think still stand up.
Superhero movies, like, this is the prototype.
yeah,
This is the model.
It shows.
and Godfather.
And I remember what
Yeah.
Richard Donner said when he read the original script. He goes, "I have to save Superman." He saw Superman as an American icon,
Yeah.
where they saw it as like kiddie stuff, comic books. He was like, "No, we have to save Superman. He's part of like our mythology."
Yeah. And this is by the way, the 40th anniversary of the character, right?
No, the 40th anniversary was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I think we're at the 40th.
No, the 40th anniversary of Superman, Action Comics.
At the time this came out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought you meant now.
No.
It's like 5 years already.
Yeah.
So it was very appropriate that this came out 40 years after the inception.
Siegel and Schuster, who had a lot of bad blood with DC, their story. They sold
Yeah.
the rights for only $150, and DC made billions.
Yeah.
It's the same concept with Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
Mhm.
Glory,
Bill
Bill
Finger
Finger
created
did
everything.
Yeah.
But wait.
Died alone.
But Siegel and Schuster, did they have a falling out?
No,
they
they didn't.
Their fallout was with DC.
DC, because the thing was, in order for them to make money, if you created something for DC, DC's like, we own the capital. That was it. So they wanted to sue them and couldn't sue them while they were there, so they had to sell the rights. $150. Superman, they made billions.
Yeah.
Of Superman.
It turned into a nice investment.
Yeah.
Big return on investment.
But they created one of the most quintessential, one of the most important American icons. Yeah?
Sure.
The true immigrant story.
Now, do you own that replica of that green crystal?
I do actually. I own that. I own the one from Smallville, also from the show. I actually bought it in Metropolis. I came with a lot of money, and I said, "Well, if I'm going to buy something, I'm going to buy something unique." And I'm like, "There you go, take it."
I don't know if you ever heard the story. So Benjamin Melnicker, who's executive producer on every Batman movie.
Him and Michael Eisner.
Michael Eisner.
Actually, I don't remember for a long time. It was Michael Uslan who did this. He was pitching a college course on comic books, and he told the university was like, "No way."
That's the first time they ever had a.
Yeah, and what happened was, it was like, "Okay, tell me the story of Otis." And then he's like, "Tell me the story of Superman."
Yeah.
Yeah, he told the story of Superman. They go, "Well, how can you relate this to this?" And he told the story of Moses. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh crap! And he actually won a debate in the college course on it.
The parallels are kind of scary.
So if you're looking right now, around the ship is all the lines for the movie. So they're right under it, all the cue cards.
Let's give him a couple million.
Yeah. This is part of it. This is the special edition scene.
With that said, Marlon Brando's performance here is iconic as well.
Yes. Right.
Who else did they want, Vinny, for Jor-El?
No, they wanted Brando.
All the time.
They wanted Brando. He was
Wow.
the name. I mean, Brando, one of the greatest actors who ever lived.
Yep.
Biggest actor at the time in the world, It was a name. This was a draw. You had Marlon Brando in a movie about Superman. It was like, okay, this is how you drew everyone else, and that's how you got Hackman.
Yep.
Glenn Ford, all these other people.
and the actress who played Lara,
Susanna York.
she criticized the movie because she didn't really give the baby anything. It was all Jor-El.
Who was the bigger star?
I
This is
know,
how
but
it was.
she still felt
I
bad.
still love these that Marlon
Oh, yeah.
Brando used. And I sometimes say
So-
these to my son at night.
So if you look right here, you can see him literally reading the lines. You look right. See
Maybe
how-
that's why I pronounce it Krypton.
Krypton.
Krypton, not Krypton. Krypton.
And this is all Tom Hanks' writing. Right here.
Mm. It's nice. It's a nice
It's nice.
symbolic.
Here's the squint again.
Yeah.
How crazy would it be to see the set? That'd be
Yeah.
so crazy.
Huge set.
I
The
know.
only replica kinds of set is if you go to like a Six Flags theme. Yeah.
Well, this is the stuff that's missing in movies, honestly. I mean, CGI, it's cheaper and easier, but I mean, having a real set there, that's why I appreciate Nolan. And one of Nolan's idols was Richard Donner, doing things for real, CG should just be a tool, not a thing to rely on.
Mhm. And I'm thinking back to other Richard Donner films. He didn't really use a lot of CGI.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well, a lot of his big
predated.
movies predates CGI.
I know, but around the late 70s, 80s, CGI was very
When you
popular.
think of this movie, this was all like paintings, matte paintings,
models.
and what they did with the flying, it was like rotoscoping and rear projection. Like this wasn't invented yet. They invented it for this movie. That's why they won the Academy Award.
The scenes with Reeve flying were so good because he
They
has
still do.
he
They
has
still stand up.
he has experience in
He was a hang glider,
hang gliding.
and he
Yeah,
was a pilot too.
yeah. So he was moving like he would actually fly.
I'll tell you when we get to the scene. I'll show you what he did
Uh-huh.
with his experience. I'll show you.
Yeah. I jumped the gun a little.
I know.
bit.
But just to add to that, I really do love how Christopher Reeve flies. And if you see everybody else's like auditions, they're all like, ugh, they're just like really like, oh, this is what they do in the cartoons or whatever, right? Exactly. But him, he's just like, like goes with the movement.
What I
Just
missed
feels it.
today, like when you see Henry Cavill fly, it's just CG.
It's
They
all
don't even
CG.
do any close-ups. I like it when it's in person.
Yep.
The capes are CG. Back then, they built these
Yeah.
rigs that would make the cape flap, all that stuff.
I love that.
But Christopher Reeve, really, I mean, he flew.
In the 3-hour cut of this movie, they elongated the destruction of Krypton, and it's just like a lot of extra moments of the people of Krypton dying. And you're just like, wow, they're really laying it on thick for this scene. Just all these different angles.
I should mention this. To this very day, when I read Superman comics, I imagine Reeve and Brando saying all of Superman and Jor-El's dialogue.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of which, has the 78 Superman comic book come out yet?
Next month.
And Batman comes out in 2 weeks.
Oh my God, that's gonna be great.
I'm so stoked, guys. I'm so stoked.
It's cool.
And
I'm
it's
going
all
to the
the
comic
last
book store to
race.
get it.
Yep.
I'll go with you, man.
I've never been excited more for a comic
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got back into collecting.
And it's also originally for Superman 3, Donner was going to have Brainiac and Supergirl. Yeah,
And I think Bizarro too.
Bizarro as well. And it upsets me so much because Donner, he made 4 Lethal Weapon movies. He was working on 5.
Yeah.
He said, like, if I didn't get fired, I would have done that as many times. He goes, I never saw it as sequels. I saw it as continuation,
A saga.
a saga.
That's so awesome, man. Maybe another world
Donner was way ahead of his time. And you know what?
for sure.
Donner, I mean, now that he passed away, he gets a lot of credit. Spielberg, all those guys.
Cameron,
Donner really was ahead of his time.
I agree.
Yep.
For a lot of things.
It was never quite a household name like Spielberg, Lucas, or Cameron.
But like, if you look at his filmography, all great movies.
Yeah.
I can't
think of a bad one. Yeah.
No. I think there's all Lady Hawk.
I think the only, I would say my thing with Donner, I think as far as movies of his that I didn't care for, I'm sure it'd probably be something like 16 Blocks.
See, I love 16 Blocks.
Or Timeline.
Yeah, 16 Blocks I wasn't
like
a fan
Timeline.
with. I thought it was going to be like the next Die Hard. But
No, it was good. I like it.
Actually, I think my favorite, or at least my favorite holiday movie of all time, Scrooge.
Yes, Scrooge.
Scrooge.
I would say that.
Hard. And he
Uh,
makes a cameo in that too at the end when they're all singing. He's in the background with the kid on his shoulder singing.
He started off as an actor, Don.
Okay.
That's how he started off, and he would argue with people all the time. And one of the directors go, you don't know how to take orders. You should become a director. Which he did.
He even has a cameo in this.
In the special edition,
And in the Goonies.
Yeah.
And in the Goonies, he was one of the police officers.
That's great.
And his cousin, who was the police chief in the Weapon, is in all his movies.
Yeah. What's his name?
Steve Kahn.
And if you look, you can see the drapes behind there, the curtain that they use for the. It's because they didn't have a black screen, so it was a black curtain.
Actually, no. I would say Donner made two of my favorite Christmas movies because it does Scrooge and the first Lethal Weapon. Right?
Yeah. Lethal Weapon 2 is pretty good. 3 has its moments.
Yeah, I know. I did like all four of them. To be
They're all
honest.
they're
True,
yeah. This is part of special edition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
Phantom Zone.
I really love that Richard Donner, like before this movie, superheroes weren't taken seriously was a thing, right? Like it was Batman 66, was it? Yeah.
So I was watching Batman 66 earlier today for 25th anniversary.
The last thing, so 2 years before this movie came out, and I forget the guy who played him, but it was on ABC, and Leslie Ann Warren played Lois Lane. She was also testing for Lois Lane for this, but they did Superman the musical.
Yeah, yes.
Two-night event. And
So campy.
Oh, if you ever get a chance, it's actually on YouTube now. They put it on. It's called Look Up in the Sky, The Amazing Story of Superman. When Superman Returns came out, Ken Burns did this whole documentary, and in it they showed snippets from that show. It was god-awful. Jesus. That was the last thing before this movie, and how serious
I
it
could
was.
have seen that in a crossover with the what was the Legend of the Superheroes, where they had where they brought back Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin with Green Lantern and Shazam.
Yeah, Legends of the Superheroes.
Yes.
Yep, I remember that.
And before that, Superman was on TV, right?
George Reeves.
George, the
No
Adventures
relation to Superman.
Right.
It's Christopher Reeve. George
It's a
Reeves.
weird coincidence. It sounds like.
And there was a Superman curse because what happened to George Reeves.
Yeah.
And then Dean Cain's career just didn't go anywhere.
Do we know if this actor for Kal-El? Do we know if he does the comic book circuit? I'm sorry, the comic book convention circuit.
Looks good. That
Yeah.
still looks good. And this was a fighter jet that they put a camera on.
Oh, cool.
Phyllis Baxter and Leonard Ford.
Yep.
He only has a few minutes of screen time.
He was known
Country
for his
singer.
Western, and he was known for his westerns.
Mm.
But it was just another name to add to this.
Yeah.
He's another one whose voice I always hear when I read the comics.
Oh, Glenn Ford?
Glenn Ford, yeah.
I always hear John Schneider.
Not Kevin Costner.
No.
Yeah, I think
I have issues with that.
Thanks.
Kevin.
I like the actor who played Jonathan Kent in Smallville.
Yeah, John Schneider.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he was.
That was a good show, but after a while, it all kind of felt the same storyline.
Well, I was pissed at the last episode.
And also there was a nice little reunion of him and the Dukes of Hazzard, young Smallville.
Yeah.
This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Full frontal. No.
Well, I'm wondering how that kid
I'm
feels
friends with
now.
him on Facebook.
Are you actually?
I want to know how that story is like.
How does he feel about
It was fun to listen. He actually dressed up at one of the Superman conventions with the red shirt around his waist, like that. And he took
Oh.
pictures like that.
Oh, that's funny. Wait,
And I
what's
always
it?
said when he hugs her here, like if he had superpowers, I'd kill him. Like, look, right here.
Yeah. Oh, probably. Well, what's the actor's name?
I keep mispronouncing his last name, but he also was in Superman 3. He was the kid in the photo booth.
Okay.
And he was
Oh wow!
yeah, he was the kid in the photo booth. And he was also in Man of Steel. He was one of the soldiers when Zod shipped him out for
Oh, really?
He was one of the soldiers.
Wow, that's crazy.
the Superman franchise is that they always bring back actors from older
Yeah.
versions. Whereas,
And Mark McClure was in Justice League.
Oh, and don't forget Superman Returns when they have the
Noel Neal.
no,
Noel Neal was in the beginning.
Yeah,
And oh my God, Jack Larson was
Yes.
the original Jimmy Olsen.
Huh.
I met Noel. She was a sweetheart.
wait, wasn't Jack Larson Bimbo in that one?
No, well, was it Bimbo, the bartender, his name? Might have been. He was the bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but Bimbo was a completely different character.
Oh, that's from the comics.
Yeah. He was the bum at the docks.
Right. His best friend is Superman.
Well, he considers it. But it was always sad in the comics when the Superman.
See, that looks great. Look at
It does.
That
It
was
still
so
looks
good.
But you know what it is? It's practical.
Yeah.
That's why I also appreciate the new Ghostbusters that Jason Reitman's using practical.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, there's still a lot of CGI from the
But
trailer.
it has to be a nice mixture of the two.
Exactly, like the first movie. Actually, the second movie too.
So let's see. So now, here comes another new bit of trivia.
Uh-huh.
So Jeff East, who plays the young Clark Kent, is actually redubbed over by Christopher Reeve.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was really pissed off when
He
he
was pissed off
discovered that.
But
fact.
they did not match at all.
Didn't he also have like a fake nose and a weird like makeup?
No, the makeup, I think.
That was a cannon in the ground.
I think that they made him look or try to make him look like Reeve.
Yeah.
As much as possible, yeah.
His hair, I think that was.
Also, Reeve has brown hair. He
Her-
dyed his hair
her-
black.
Yeah,
He's an animal too.
No, not
Yeah,
yet.
that's not a middle.
That's a
Yeah,
young-
no, he was in Superman 3.
Three.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This is a different actress, younger version.
And in the pilot of Smallville was a completely different actress for Marlon Brando.
Oh,
It's Lois.
Mhm. Looks nothing like a nail tool.
No.
Right. Can't turn. He's a lot of work.
Sure.
Brad Wilson. He was played by the Lost Cunningham.
Oh, Chuck Cunningham.
Yep.
He was also the gang leader in Death Wish 3.
And he also was in Willow. That's why Ron Howard hired him for Willow, because they worked on the Happy Days.
Oh. Wait, what was he in Willow? Who?
He was Matt Morgan's friend in Willow. The guy who
Oh,
dies by the skull guy. I keep forgetting his damn name.
oh shoot.
I always say the reason why Howard and Marion never acknowledged their oldest son was because he moved to New York and became a gang leader, only to get blown away by Charles Bronson.
This scene's really cool. They dug an air cannon into
Right.
the ground.
It looks great.
It does. And it's all
Did
practical.
they put wood inside the football?
Yep. And then that's an air cannon. You can see the pressure coming out of it that they dug into the ground.
It's good editing. Nice little moment.
And this is another part of the special edition.
Yep.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Where he almost gets killed by a train.
Well,
Well, the people on the train, which was
yeah,
right.
young Lois Lane.
someone else too. See if you know. And I'll tell you guys.
No, I think I read this.
So if you know who that is on the train,
They're like the previous Superman
Yes.
actor.
I'll
Kirk
tell you.
Allen.
Yep.
Mhm.
Kirk Allen.
Yep.
And it's weird that Lois Lane is a few years younger than Clark Kent.
And
Which is probably why they put it on the theatrical.
But
It was
they
theatrical.
but they
This
said
is-
that
this is special edition.
but they said that because of Kryptonian DNA or whatever, he ages
He ages different.
faster. Yeah.
Well, technically, when he becomes a peak age, he ages slower. When his cells create all the cells from the sun. So you see
Right.
the camera and the reflection.
Yeah.
Because he's 18 here.
Yeah.
And then he spends 12 years in the Fortress of Solitude,
Yeah.
only to emerge as
Superman.
Superman
So
Christopher
there-
Reeve. Yeah.
So that's Noel Neill and Kirk Allen. Kirk Allen was the very first. Noel Neill technically was the first Lois Lane too.
Yeah.
Phyllis Coates was the first season of the Adventures of Superman with George Reeves, and she left, and Noel Neill came back. But Kirk Allen is the first live action Superman.
Superman and the Mole Man.
And no, that was George Reeves. It was just Superman, and then Superman versus the Atomic Man. Superman and the Mole Man was the feature
Oh, right.
movie for George Reeves that they turned to.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
No, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Now, so that was in the 60s, right? The George Reeve?
George Reeves was
50s.
late 50s. Yeah, late 50s.
Okay.
60s was Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and before Reeve
Was
Reeves.
Kirk Allen.
Allen.
Reeves was
was
Kirk
the animated,
The Fleischer Show.
Allen. Fleischers came before all that stuff.
Yeah.
way
Fleischers
before.
was
That was like
series.
the 40s, right?
That was
Early
like
40s. Yeah.
Early 40s was.
And they won an Academy, which is still to this day my favorite animation, the rotoscoping.
It's
The
amazing.
Fleischers did amazing, bro. And they won an Oscar for best animated short.
How great is this scene?
Oh, I cried. I have a hard
Oh,
time. I'm gonna have to keep my composure.
His
If I-
acting too, eh? Like the confusion.
I can't watch.
And this is what bothers me about the new Superman movie when his dad's like, "Oh, should I let them die?" And he goes, "Maybe." Like, no, John.
That's what was messed up. I hated. Sorry, I really hated Man of Steel.
Hate Man of Steel, but they could have done a lot in the second movie to make up for things. But I get it. He's an alien. All he had to say was, "Should I let him die? Maybe." And all he had to say was, "We both know that's not the right thing to do." And that was saying fine. But this whole dialogue here is just, I love it.
That's what differs.
But this whole scene here where Jonathan Kent is talking to him, is like, you were put here for a reason, you know, and it's not for football, whatever. Like, it says so much about the Kents, you know, like they could have easily been the type of people that were like, holy shnikes, you can do all these things. We're going to make sure you're an athlete. Then we're going to collect all the checks, you know? No, they're all like, no, you're here to do something great. And it really pays off, you know?
Real old school American values.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Americana.
It's not to score touchdown.
Do you guys ever read Red Sun or watch the animated movie?
One of my favorite books. Yeah.
It's just really interesting to see what happens when the Kents aren't around, basically, to raise them.
It just shows you where he was meant to be.
Now,
This right here.
why did they end after Quest for Peace, Part 4?
Box office.
Well, not even that Canon. So at the time, Canon Films, you know Canon Films.
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Golden Globus.
Golden Globus, man. Knock 'em Golden. I mean, look, they made some of my favorite movies of all time. A lot of crazy crap. I mean, a lot of crap movies.
Bloodsport.
Masters of the Universe?
If you wanted to get into the mainstream, in order to get into the mainstream, they had to have big movies with lots of money into it. The problem was they would do movies, or they would do like movies spend $1 million, and they would always make their budget. But then it got to the point that their movies were failing because they were making really crappy movies. So they had a thing where they would go to the international market, create posters for movies
That weren't even made yet.
that weren't even made, and the guys would buy it, but that money would pay back the movies that they didn't make the money from.
Right.
So Superman 4, Christopher Reeve wanted to do this movie called Street Smarts with Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
He came up with the concept, but they said, we'll make this movie for you if you do Superman 4, because that movie's going to take us to the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Superman's 4 budget was supposed to be $36 million and went down to $17 million.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to do the flying scenes,
Yeah.
that's why they recycled a lot of shots and everything like that.
Mhm.
That and Masters of the Universe killed Canon.
But
And-
Masters is so good, though.
Well, I mean, look, I love Masters,
It's a fun movie.
but it's not a He-Man movie at
Yeah,
all.
It's nowhere close.
And little knowledge, so you know the Van Damme movie Cyborg?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be Masters of the Universe too.
Okay.
They built all the stuff. The Masters of the Universe 2, they did Cyborg. And in the sequel, because you know at the end of Masters when Skeletor comes up and says, "I'll be back."
Yeah.
So this is the plot for Masters of the Universe 2. Skeletor comes back and becomes a billionaire and starts to desecrate parts of town. And He-Man comes back and plays for the New York Jets.
What the
Fun. He played by surfer turned actor. No, it wasn't supposed to be Dolphin. It was supposed to be Lard Hamilton.
Oh,
He
really?
was an ex-surfer. He
Lard?
actually looked more like He-Man than Dolphin.
They wouldn't even bring. They were too cheap to bring back up on.
He didn't want to do it.
Lard?
He didn't want to-
Lard?
Lard Hamilton.
Okay.
L-A-R-D. Or L-A-Y-R-D.
Oh.
But also, getting back to this, all this stuff I love here, this shot, and when he tells his mother all those things I can do, all those powers, and I couldn't save them. People think this movie's still cheesy, but I'm like, but you know what? Here's a guy
No.
with powers and realizes the human frailty of like how humans can die.
Where did you shot that?
That's
Canada.
Alberta, right? Alberta.
Alberta.
Where Ghostbusters Afterlife was filmed in Alberta.
There you go.
What I love about this movie is they do exactly what Superman and Lois is doing. They focus on the man and what makes that man super, and it's not his powers; it's the man himself. Is the thing.
Focused more on the alien, you know? That's what kind of bothered me because he is an alien, but it's his humanity that makes him human.
100%.
And that's what kind of bothers me a little bit. You know, it's like Krypton gave him birth, but the Earth is what makes him human. And it's these people, Jonathan and Martha Kent, you know? And just this scene alone of his accepting his birthright and knowing he's going to have to leave, it just tear up every time.
Yeah.
Honestly, none of you guys are here, I'd be bawling like a little girl.
It's a testament to the screenwriters.
Yeah, which is why I kind of get very defensive when people say this movie's outdated, it's too cheesy. It's
No,
not cheesy at all.
I mean,
people I will fight.
Yeah.
It has cheesy moments.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
gonna-
always like,
Okay, yeah, like I will say, like Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor is obviously campy and stuff like that.
I love it. I love that.
the pimp.
Yeah.
Say, Jim.
That is a bad outfit.
Woo! But they did this in 3 acts. So you had Krypton,
Yeah.
was more science fiction. Then you had The Farm, which was more of a drama. And then when they go to Metropolis, it's a adventure. Exactly.
And
So
the
good.
flow
So
is
good.
perfect.
But
really.
everything's so balanced, and that's why I feel like Man of Steel wasn't very balanced. It's not very, especially Batman. Was
Very bleak,
I
very
wouldn't get
depressing.
it, But
Not a
Henry
pleasant
Cavill-
film.
But
Not a-
Henry Cavill has potential to be the Superman I know that we want him to be. You're never going to be Reed. No one's ever going to be Reed.
Is Richard Lester still alive?
No, yeah, he retired after he directed The Four Musketeers because one of the actors fell off the horse and broke his pelvis and died.
Oh my gosh.
That's the same guy who played the father in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for Veruca Balk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where's the
wow.
ball? Wait, she was
Not Veruca Balk.
Veruca Salt.
Veruca Salt. Sorry, why did I say Veruca Balk? This is all special edition right here.
It was Four Musketeers or was it the Fifth
Four
Musketeer? The Fifth Musketeer.
That is Four
I'm
Musketeers.
trying to think of another director who could do a Superman movie the right way, other than Don.
Director or actor?
Director. Because I love Cavill as an actor, as a Superman.
I wouldn't mind seeing what's their names, the Russo brothers, just because they have a history of taking like what they did with Captain America, where it's a Boy Scout, but look, you don't change him from being a Boy Scout. You just make the world around him and his situation dire and pretty dark is a thing.
Well, I'm just going to let you know, Patty Jenkins wanted to do a Superman movie. She pitched it to Warner Brothers.
Oh, really?
She did. She pitched it to Warner Brothers, and she said the movie was going to be a complete homage to Christopher Reeve. And obviously, if you could see from the first 2 Wonder Woman movies, she takes a lot of homage
Definitely.
from, she said, Wonder Woman and Superman, her 2 favorites.
Yeah.
And you could see it clearly.
She did great. The first one was really.
Yes.
Second
I
one-
love the first one, didn't really like the second one, but I do love that Richard Donner passed her a red baton.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? Did you guys see that? Yeah, that was really cool.
There you go, girl. Baton's
I have to say, the executives of Warner Brothers right now, I think they should all be fired.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in Warner Brothers. Right now.
Warner sits on a lot of IPs they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
They think they go on to more like so female superheroes, we're going to do everything female superheroes right now, or everything's interracial, Batgirl's interracial. Like,
No, this is the thing with them. They don't read the comics.
the problem is you have Kevin Feige runs Marvel. He has a vision. They go by his vision. There's individual people own the IPs of characters at one of those. Like John Peters owns Batman and Superman. They don't want him involved because he's a nutcase. And it's just too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't think Peter still. Wait, I don't Peter says Superman, but I don't think he has that.
No, he does, but he stays out of it. They pay him to not have any involvement. They go,
No involvement with that.
or Superman. He has no, meaning not to come on set and do anything with the movie. They go, you stay there, we give you the money, and that's it.
So he owns it, but he doesn't have any.
He
involvement.
bought the film rights to both.
I thought that
and
was
they
Michael
didn't-
Uslan.
No, Uslan producing the films.
I thought he owns the rights.
He owns
the
partial
movie,
rights,
right?
but the film, if you want to make a movie, you got to go through Peters of one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But the producer is Uslan.
And Peters is also the one who proposed the giant spider. in
And he didn't want Superman to wear the suit either.
Yeah,
Or
the
flaw.
Thanagarian stairpiece.
Miles Miles.
Which is a documentary you should watch. The
Yeah.
Death of Superman Lives.
Return. It is Superman Lives.
With
Yes.
Robert
Yeah.
Smigel, who I met, who unfortunately passed away as well. That's Smigel. Oh my God, what's his name? What's his name? It's gonna kill me. I met him and his fiance. I actually signed my Blu-ray. Yep. Another awesome scene with the music.
Mm-hmm.
This is the scene I cry the most at. Just knowing that
Time has come to leave.
we raised you, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Gotta find your destiny.
Time to fly.
And John Williams' score. I mean, and I like Hans Zimmer is great, but it
Yeah.
just doesn't match up to this.
No. Well, Zimmer scores everything now, so it's all kind of all blending together. This is just an iconic theme.
This makes me feel. The only thing I like from Zimmer is that overtune he has for Superman.
He was good in the 90s, I'd say. Up until Gladiator, I don't
I
know.
loved what he did with the Dark Knight trilogy. He did really good.
He
with
there
that.
were good tracks.
They were tracks, but to me, when I think Batman, I think Danny Elfman.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Now this is also here. So the background, that's all one huge painting.
That looks great.
Yeah. And this is all done on pine.
I love it. Quintessential science fiction.
Just the music, the little footnotes and everything alluding to something bigger coming.
I mean, honestly, I think Jerry Goldsmith would have knocked it out of the park too.
Yeah.
But he had scheduling conflicts. He couldn't do it.
It's would have been very different. I mean,
Yeah.
I love Jerry Goldsmith, especially for the what he did for Rambo, but I mean, Williams, this is Williams' thing.
Yeah.
Supergirl is what basically
Would have been.
that was his answer to the Superman scoring.
Was the Superman.
And you can see the cape.
Now, so basically, he turned that infant swaddles blankets into the actual uniform.
In the comics, there's very different variations. Martha Kent makes this costume at one point, but in one of the variations, the suit is with him because that's part of his heritage.
Yeah.
And that's what he wears.
I think that in this, the crystals come to Roman.
More or less.
Yeah, very Star Wars sounding. Nice effect. He just pulled it down from underneath.
That's giving him a home. This was technically supposed to be his home on Earth, a place to go to.
Mm.
This is all miniatures.
Then why did his ship crash land in Kansas?
It just crashed, but this technically was supposed to be his home. I mean, it could have been anywhere, but he just chose the Arctic.
Oh, okay. Just
He
randomly.
could have been in the desert or somewhere else and would have created some sort of fortress. Hence the crystals with the ice.
So he just walked to the North Pole.
Yeah.
just like
From Kansas.
I'm just gonna walk.
Trying to find out who he is. You could say the crystal kind of lured him here too, also maybe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because and technically, the Fortress of Solitude is not technically trademarked by Superman. Fortress of Solitude first appeared in the Pulp comics of Doc Savage. Doc Savage's home was in the Arctic, and it was called the Fortress of Solitude.
And that's DC.
No, the Pulps are completely different. Pulps were their own thing. The Shadow, Green Hornet.
So did DC rip off that storyline?
They did. Well, you could also say Bob Kane ripped off of the Shadow, because the Shadow is pretty much a pick-for-pick character.
And I know you're a big Shadow guy.
Bob Kane, I hate to say, kind of a hack, and Bill Singer created a lot of the lore, but Shadow and Batman are pretty much the same character.
Pretty much.
Shadow kills.
Yeah, he has 2 guns.
And that Queen knows.
Well, actually, no, Batman has guns too.
Well,
In the early days,
he
he had
guns, but that's because the Shadow had 2 guns. When Shadow had 2 guns, everyone else, the Phantom had 2 guns.
That
The
all,
Spider had 2 guns.
all that architecture was all Jorah. Those plans
Yes.
must have been all Jorah.
What a great prop.
Everything. I
Just
have
the-
some of these crystals too.
That's cool.
And in Mexico, they actually have these crystal caves deep in the ground that look like this.
Oh, they're natural form?
Like it's a cave which looks like the Fortress of Solitude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you'll be going there in the near future.
It's hard. It's like really hot. You can only stay in there like 5 minutes. It's like 115 degrees in there. Nice.
The giant green bagel.
The bloopers for this were really funny. He keeps goes, Ralph, Dave, whatever your damn name is. Space time continuum. Travel thousands of years to live.
I wish they had the giant key to open it.
Yeah, that's old school.
I love that.
And that key was made from a star, so only Superman could lift it.
Yeah, who remembers How I Met Your Mother? And always with Barney with the Jor-El thing. It's like, I always think, I want that. Okay, that's the truth.
Chills, you guys. Absolute chills.
This whole sequence is beautiful.
Imagine watching this. Imagine watching this in a planetarium
Yeah.
or in IMAX.
Did they ever do this in redo it in 3D or
No. They were supposed to, years ago, before the DVD came out, this was supposed to be re-released back in theaters. They actually did a trailer and everything. So,
Well, it's been in theaters re-released, right?
well, that was for the 40th anniversary, but they were supposed to do an actual re-release.
Oh, wow.
Like how the Star Wars movies re-released
Oh,
back
special
in theaters.
editions, yeah.
This was supposed to be it.
I would love to have seen this in IMAX.
Yeah.
The only experience that we had in our life, well, besides Superman Returns was the first, like,
That was
of
the
our
first
generation.
Yeah. Well, this 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, was the 40th anniversary for this. So that 3 nights in a row, I went.
Yeah, I caught this at AMC in Times Square.
And they showed Mechanical Monsters, the flight short before.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Cool.
Remember that.
Now I have the Fleischer cartoon. Yeah, I think I might watch them later.
I got them special edition too.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Did anybody else have a giant crush on Lois Lane?
Of course, Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
Back then. She was really cute.
And it's still, there's still, I think it's Superman, if I want to meet Terrence Stamp. And
Yes.
I want to kneel before.
That'd be a great photo op.
You know what's funny? So stories is people see him kneel before him, and he didn't need any access. So he goes, "Glad you know your place." There's stories about that.
Oh, that's cool. He's still
still alive.
He's got to be in his 70s,
80s,
80s. Yeah.
I think he was
Great actor too.
Yeah.
He's also in episode 1, Phantom Menace, Chancellor Valorian.
Also Bowfinger as the head of Mindhead.
not, he was also the boss in My Boss's Daughter.
Yep.
And also Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yep.
The drag
Oh,
queen.
yeah.
I think it was also in Mozart in the Jungle.
Yes. So
Just this
this
great
scene right
authoritative
here
voice.
too.
The Mask of Jor-El.
Yes. So
Oh.
when you watch Christopher Reeve fly, he was supposed to come straight at the camera. So due to his hang gliding experience, if you watch, he tilts his back feet. You'll see it. And he's able to bend around the wires. So when he comes forward, you'll see he turns his feet.
Looks so great.
See right there how it's tilted? He's bending himself behind the wires. And apparently Richard Donner forgot to full cut. He was like, "Shit." And that was the first take, and that's what they used.
Perfect.
David Brennan. That was filmed.
That's New York. That's
This is New York.
Yeah.
So ironically enough, Jake's wife works in the city. She works at a hotel. So Jake sends me a video and does this, what they're doing here. She works next door to what they used for the Daily Planet.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I said, now you know what, because my friend Jake's a diehard Superman fan too. So I said, now you know why she's your wife.
So that's a few blocks from the Chrysler building you just
Yep.
saw in the background.
Yep. That was the New York Times building. that they used.
Which is now in Times Square, actually.
Yes.
Quick fun fact, Joe Shuster, he was a Canadian kid, and Metropolis is based off of Toronto, and Smallville is based off a place called Stouffville, which I'm just right next door to, actually.
Metropolis is a mix of Toronto and Cleveland.
Yes. Now, do you guys know the original name for the Daily Planet?
Daily Star.
Very good.
After the Toronto Star, actually.
Yeah.
I think in order to take a trip to this place, it's up in Poughkeepsie, New York, the Daily Planet Diner.
Yep, I know about that
That
place.
sounds fun.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
After this, I'm
So now-
hungry.
Yep.
Jimmy, you gonna join us?
Absolutely, I'm already on my way. Uber should be here any second.
Legend right there.
And there were a bunch of actors too who were in the running for Lois Lane, obviously.
Yeah. Stockard Channing was one.
That would have been good.
Leslie Ann Warren. There are a bunch of them. They're on the special features.
Yeah.
You know. But
Just the way Christopher Reeve plays Clark Kent.
I was about to say, literally, you know, the whole tagline is supposed to be "You'll believe a man can fly," but it also should be like, "You'll believe Clark Kent is not Superman."
Watch when he walks, he hunches a little bit too.
mm,
And just the bubblingness, everything is the opposite. And people rag on, oh, they should know Superman is because of the glasses. But
No.
you wouldn't look at someone like Clark Kent and Superman. You wouldn't
Yeah.
think for a second.
No.
and actually, the bumbling Clark Kent behavior shtick. It's supposed to be an imitation of Cary Grant from Bringing Up Babies.
Yes. Don't call me sugar.
You met Jimmy Olsen too, right?
Lord,
What was he like?
give me a hug.
Oh, okay. There you
I love
there you
him.
go.
I told him how important they were and how
That's so awesome to hear.
he gave me a big hug.
That's awesome.
And Sarah Douglas, I kissed her hand. And Jack O'Hara was great.
I actually do have a story about Christopher Reeve. I did meet Christopher Reeve.
Very jealous of her.
Wow.
Yes, this was back in 1996 when I was at summer camp. I went
After
to
you were
a
paralyzed.
Yes, he was paralyzed, but he actually had a house in the Berkshires,
Yeah.
and he went to a Pittsfield Mets game, which was at the time one of the minor leagues of the New York Mets. I went there as a camp group, and I saw, oh my God, it's Christopher Reeve. He's there. I was like, I mean, I was just like, and then I went up to him. He was like, hi. I was like, I loved your movie, Superman. I love
I would
Superman.
have been able to talk.
I would have
Yeah,
just been
That's
drooling.
my idol. That's my idol. Another fun fact: Christopher Reeve is in the music video for Ghostbusters 2.
Two, yes.
Bobby Brown. On her own.
That's correct.
By getting because he's
Bobby
living.
Brown.
I have to wait on our own. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Bobby
can't
Brown.
really watch this music
If
video.
I have the 4K steelbook, so that was on the special features. On it.
He's in the background, just like
No, he's biking in the park. He's,
He looks up at the screen.
and he's Bobby Brown above the Plaza Hotel.
Jimmy.
They were trying to mimic what they did in the first Ghostbusters movie with all the cameos of people.
Jimmy, were you aware of this? Christopher Reeve in the
Yes, I have YouTube.
Reeve is in the Ghostbusters family,
Yes.
just like
himself.
Playing
himself.
Danny Elfman is in the Ghostbusters
And look how
family.
they used to write stories, like typewriters.
I know.
I think, well, I mentioned this before we recorded, but I do share a birthday with Christopher Reeve.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very jealous.
Yeah. So it's Christopher Reeve and Mark Hamill. So I share a birthday with Superman and the Joker.
And Luke
Dead-
Skywalker.
Also, yep, and also Will Smith and Heather Locklear, who played Deadshot and Abigail Arcane. So that's at least 4 DC actors right there.
That's impressive.
And they're-
Unfortunately, I only share a birthday with Joss Whedon, which is not as cool anymore.
I feel like that's in the museum.
No, this is in the New York Times building.
Huh.
And there's a blooper coming up when they come through the door. If you look closely when Christopher Reeve goes through the door, you can see Richard Donner behind the camera filming him. You'll see.
You actually see it?
You see it, plain as day. Right here.
Rex, yep, I see it.
See it straight ahead? Yep. It's Rick Donner. And he's like, oh shit, you got me on camera.
And there's a movie critic Rich Reed.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Nobody freak out, but I may have the wrong edition playing.
Oh no.
I'm literally at a newspaper stand at the moment, and
They're getting
Otis is purchasing a paper at the moment. That's where I am at the moment.
Away. Do what he says. Okay.
And this is the scene that Patty Jenkins used for the first Wonder Woman movie.
Mm-hmm. Also, you can see also the influence on Captain America.
Now, who's the actor who plays the Munger?
I actually don't know.
Okay, because he looks familiar.
I was just thinking it was Billy Crystal.
There
I'm going to check right now.
you go. That's what Google's for.
IMDb.
Or that.
I'm gonna turn it over to you. So after I rob you guys.
Yeah, right. I just love him here. Lois, what are you doing?
His voice, the way he like cracks. Doing? Ooh. Faster than a speeding bullet.
The size of his glasses too. It's almost like a mask.
Twisting out. I think it was a stomach, right?
Oh, yeah, he's a folk singer.
Okay.
He also played an engineer in Rogue One.
Okay. What's this thing? So,
That's gotta be cool, eh? Even if it's like a small part or whatever, you get to see the other guys on set. Oh, well, back in '77 when I was filming Superman the movie with Richard Donner or whatever, just name drop there.
She's beautiful. She's like Courtney Cox or Demi Moore.
Yes, Courtney Cox, I would say.
she was with Richard Pryor, dating him during Superman 3.
Really?
That's strange.
Even though she walked off, even though she didn't want to do Superman 3,
She was like a
Donner.
She had obligated.
She had like a cameo in that.
Yeah.
Because she was obligated to do it, because of what they did to Richard Donner, she wanted to be part of it.
Mm.
And Ned Beatty, who we just lost this year.
Right. Oh man.
And there's Richard Donner's cousin, who also is the police chief.
Steve Conn. Steve Conn?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was in Scrooge as well. I think he was in
Scrooge.
He's
in every Richard Donner
Donner
Yeah,
film.
and he was a Predator too.
Yeah. But he's most known for playing police chief.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
He even sounds like Richard Donner. They have that deep gravel voice. I love this part right here.
Is this Penn or is this Grand Central?
Grand Central.
Yeah. He's walking through the
Back when Grand Central had Amtrak.
The next scene is in the concourse, the grand concourse.
Grand Central is much nicer than Penn Station in some points.
Also, Peter Boyle auditioned for the role of Otis.
Ned Beatty was great. He was so nice.
Otis in the comics?
No, Otis wasn't. He was a character.
Same with this Teschmacher.
There's Teschmacher!
But they brought Miss Tessmacher to like Supergirl as well, and also Smallville too. And I wouldn't be surprised if those guys pop up in the comic book next month for Superman 78.
Oh, they'll be, yeah.
Yeah.
But Ned Beatty, so he was there when Allison Mack was there at the Superman celebration. Some people online were like, Otisburg. And he would look up and go, it's a little bitty place. He was so nice. He was so nice.
That's hilarious.
Otisburg. I think that's my favorite line.
See, that's another thing too. The comedy in this was genuine. They were genuine.
They mentioned Poughkeepsie as well.
Yep. Which Poughkeepsie and Syracuse are really
There's part of
far
this.
apart.
Yeah. About 3 hours in the
NH.
Oh, that's funny.
New Haven line.
I think they wanted a second henchman for Lex Luthor too.
I believe so, yeah.
Nice walkie-talkies back in the day.
I feel like I'm supposed to sound like a whole system, like a boom, like almost like a boom box.
Yeah, like what is it connected to?
I just want to know how he was able to build this underground.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
That's not Pinewood?
No, I mean in general, like how did Lex Luthor have
Oh,
a layer underground?
He's
Build this
rich.
thing?
He can do those things.
Because they never explain how he's rich.
His
the
father.
thing. He never did in these movies because eventually he becomes the John Byrne edition reinvented.
The Evil Tycoon.
Evil Tycoon, which is my favorite. Clancy Brown is my favorite Lex Luthor.
He's
That's
the definitive
voice.
Lex Luthor.
Definitive Lex Luthor.
So is Tim Daly and Dana Delaney.
Yeah, actually, I would say,
They were
I would say,
George Newborn.
Brown and Delaney.
Yeah.
I imagine them as Lex and Lois when I read the comics.
Yeah.
They're the voices I do.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Whenever I read the comics, I hear their voices.
Oh,
Same
yeah,
here.
of course.
I think the only Batman characters that I don't I would say for most Batman characters I imagine they're animated counterparts.
Yeah.
The only ones I go for live action are Penguin, Catwoman, and Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
Because I imagine DeVito, Pfeiffer, and Freeman.
Right. You mean when you're reading the comic?
Yeah. I imagine them saying they're done.
There's also a
I
documentary about.
kind of imagine Keaton's voice when I read that.
That's always Kevin Conroy for me.
It
same
goes
here.
between both.
I've tried imagining Keaton, and it's hard for me sometimes because Like
It's easier to imagine read him as Bruce Wayne.
yeah, Conroy, at least I feel like Conroy's Bat voice has more range.
I find a lot of people when they try to do Batman these days, especially in anime movies, they're all trying to do a Conroy or whatever. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's perfection.
I mean, I recently did a dramatic table reading of George Miller's Justice League Mortal with some of my trauma buddies, and I played Batman for this performance, and I was trying to do Michael Keaton, but I feel like it probably came off as more Conroy.
The only instance where I saw someone ever do an impersonation of Michael Keaton was Matthew Perry on this.
Yeah.
He did
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Celebrity Jeopardy. He was supposed to be Michael Keaton. It was very weird. I was so happy to see that.
All live action Batman, Michael Keaton has the best voice.
I agree. I think visually too, especially in Batman Returns, he had the perfect suit.
And that's the thing, like Snyder's Batman, like that's the Batman from the comics, the gadgets. I love that outfit. But Keaton is still the person for me.
The only thing about the Batfleck I don't like is he's too big. He's too bulky.
Well, they're trying to make him look more like Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Yeah, exactly. They're going for the Frank Miller look.
On a grappling hook and beat.
That's why it's
it doesn't work for me.
I'm super excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman in The Flash.
Yes.
I wonder how much time they're going to
I
give.
think people are more excited about Keaton coming back than they are about the Flash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a meme where it shows Ezra Miller. He's like, does everybody remember that I'm in this movie too?
Well, he's gonna do very well, Ezra Miller. He's very funny. He's my favorite character in Justice League.
Big Flash.
That's great.
He's a big nerd.
He's also in contract too, as we know, with the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Oh, Gene Hackman, an hour into the movie, first appearance.
And he refused to go bald for this role.
Right.
You know about the mustache story, right?
Donner wanted him to shave it off.
So he had a mustache when he hired him, and so did Dick Donner. So he didn't want to shave the mustache. So Dick Donner said, "I'll tell you what, you shave yours, I'll shave mine."
Mm-hmm.
They're on set, and he went down to see him, and he goes, "Okay, you ready to shave your mustache?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "You first." So they shaved Gene Hackman's mustache, and he goes, "Now, Dick, you have to shave yours." And then Richard Donner peels it off. It was a prop department. And he said in that moment he looked like he was going to kill him, and then he just started bursting out. And that's when he respected him. Donner knew how to play the game, bro.
Valerie Perrine. What a babe.
She just had a documentary verse for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Valerie, yeah.
Her health isn't so great, right?
She's got
Yeah.
Val and Valerie.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
And they both have history with DC movies.
I mean, I would love them to going back into this. I would love them to do a movie just called Luther. How he ended up down.
They're thinking about it. Trust me.
Would it be Jesse Eisenberg though?
No,
the perfect Lex Luthor will always be Billy Zane.
Yes.
Billy Zane will always be the perfect Lex Luthor.
It's really unfortunate we never got to see that happen, though, eh?
He was always in fan castings, and I think he came.
Yeah.
But
I think it would be amazing, absolutely astounding. It's unfortunate that you see Clancy's portrayal of Lex Luthor, and that's perfection right there. Personally, I feel, but the closest in live action to Lex Luthor would be Michael Rosenbaum, in my opinion. Everybody else went sort of comical.
Yeah, but Michael Rosenbaum never was fully. He was great, but he wasn't fully that Lex Luthor. But he was great, But to me, Billy Zane is always the best Lex Luthor.
There never was.
And then Mark Strong was at one point, and then instead he did Shazam.
And Green Lantern a couple years.
He was great. He was the best thing about that movie.
I would have loved to see those guys as Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I really want Mark Strong to play the Shadow. That's
kind of old, I think.
But Shadow's old.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because Alec Baldwin was like in his 30s when he did the
Shadow really didn't start until later on in 30s, 40s, late 30s, 40s.
No, I mean his age.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, this is the great part of the facade. He's so ignored,
You can basically fly under the radar.
I like that fedora he's wearing.
I love this. Going down. Nobody
It's a
notices.
very New Yorker thing to do.
And he's just a farm boy from Kansas. You know?
Swell.
Another tip here: you listen to the voice.
That's Donna, right?
That's Christopher Reeve.
Oh, Christopher Reeve.
I can hear. Yep.
Because Christopher Reeve was a pilot, so he knew what to say.
And I think
And that's Donna on the other end.
and there was an accident, a helicopter crash or an accident that prevented them from doing helicopter scenes, like
That was Twilight Zone.
having helicopter pads on tops of buildings.
Yeah.
There was an incident at the Pan Am building,
Yes.
Oh, right.
and after that, I think they got rid of all helipads on
Mhm.
buildings.
Love it since we're having the Twilight Zone movie. Yeah.
That movie is great.
That's
But
why the
Yeah.
helicopter tours in New York City went down.
yep, and also Twilight Zone the movie, horrible
Speaking of
helicopter
which,
crash.
Richard Donner directed an episode of Twilight Zone, the one, Terra at 20,000.
Oh, did he do that?
That was
Oh,
him.
interesting. That's a classic with William
One of the best
Shatner.
ones. It's one of the most iconic.
Mhm.
Another Richard Donner classic, The Goonies.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
he was.
Great stories about the Goonies with the kids.
I think that was the first collaboration between him and Spielberg,
Of course.
who didn't write. He created.
He came with the idea, and then Chris Columbus wrote the script.
What a trio.
It was.
Oh,
Of course, John Williams in the score.
Yeah, I think
No,
Spielberg.
that was Dave
Spielberg
Grusin.
told,
Dave Grusin.
but Spielberg would Joe.
No. Well, there was a Superman moment. Where
Yeah,
they used
obviously
part of
that,
it.
Long.
But it was Dave Grusin who did the score.
That was great too.
Yeah.
Helicopter scene. Practical effects.
Yep. So you don't get that nowadays.
No,
It's sad.
they had to really prep this and do this, man.
Yeah, this scene took a while too, I think, right?
this is the worst thing that you could ever.
I imagine this scene probably took weeks to film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
and that's a movie screen at the bottom that they're filming.
Wow.
I would not have done that.
Yeah, because if that thing
And the
fell.
top of the building,
Sure.
the top of the building's a map.
Hmm. Is this New York though?
Yes.
That's New York. Yes.
Not.
Would have been so cool for Tim Burton's Batman to coincide with Reeves.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves.
Well, they were together in one movie called Speech.
Speech was that one scene together.
And like, this is the closest I'm ever gonna get.
Is that with Gina Davis?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
They were writing for the politicians.
For opposing candidates.
Yeah. She was the love interest.
Or a love interest.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was the
Yeah,
main.
the main one.
Yeah.
And just this scene right here alone. I mean,
Oh yeah,
the hype of the music. the
it's like
melody,
right out of the comic.
But just when he does it, like, this is where he decides, this is the night I'm gonna show up.
Hmm.
Oh,
It chills, man.
The
Little
music.
Homage, yep.
little homage, and just little comedic moment. Yeah, I can't change it. Iconic.
Oh.
There we go.
and they have a costume of like the Clark Kent. You can rip off the shirt. Say, yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
Here's the part that for me that didn't help. That didn't hold.
No. It's bad.
When I used to work in a video store, I would always pause right at the scene where Superman's about to come in and like save Lois in the helicopter. And as soon as a customer came in, I would press play, and it's just so it would start, and hopefully they would want to like rent it.
So, really quick, funny story. When I used to work at Hollywood Video, during the day when it was dead, I played this movie. Some lady, she was Indian, she comes up to me, and the scene where, you know, baby Taylor's put in the ship and everything, she goes, "Is this the story of Jesus?" So
Sort of.
You're not wrong.
No, biblical, I mean, it's my version of Jesus. But this right here, and how it's a real practical effect of him lifting up a helicopter. Like that's a real made helicopter on wires that he's lifting up. And just look, that's all real. That's no CG, man. That's hold them up on wires. This is what needs to be done today.
That'd be so cool.
Just how he lifts down. Look at that. Look at that landing.
Just love how
These guys are freaked out. He's like, this man needs help. I love this.
You know what's really works too? It's the when the crowd is like cheering him on and everything, and they can't believe it because they can't believe it. You believe it for them, and it's just so exciting.
Just a friend. That's all it is. Not an alien, just a friend.
Not your boyfriend.
That's really Christopher Reeve going up like 50 feet in the air. You know? Just reaction. And this little part right here is my favorite flying part of the whole movie.
Oh yeah,
Right here.
where he's twirling. Yeah.
Right. So he's actually standing up, and the camera's above him, and the screen's behind him. So the cameras, there's two cameras, one moving in the background and one moving in the forefront. This little spin right here. So he's just looking up. That's it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's the not rotoscoping.
Rear screen projection.
Thank you. So it's two cameras, one in the back, one in the front. I love the scene too. And this is all shot sideways. He's really on the floor. The camera's just tilted. So all the furniture in that scene is glued sideways. So the scene.
And also the actor in the.
He's shoving. He's holding himself up.
That's.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's a movie screen at the bottom there. Like this is ingenuity. Like how they had to come up with this. You know.
Movie magic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this is where people might think it's campy and cheesy, but I love it.
Oh, hi.
Down. That's something that's laying against the table. If you look really quick above his shoulder, and on the stuff you might not know, they blur out the lines. They had to paint on each frame. They have to paint out the wires. Today you would CGI, but they had to paint it out.
And don't they color his suit slightly green?
So originally the special edition fixed it. So they didn't have green screens back then, they had blue screens. His blue matched too much, so they had to make it turquoise.
Right.
For the green to stick out from some of the flight stuff. But the special edition fixes it.
I think it was on Stars, like one person had actually owned
One of the flying suits.
Cool.
And it was authenticated, but they wanted to give him so little money for it. It was like, no, buddy, that thing's worth a lot more than we want to give him.
Like, wasn't the George Reeves suit like brown and?
It wasn't brown, it was black and white. When they shot it it was like half brown, black and white. When it was originally shot in black and white, it had to be that to come up. And then when it went to color, they did a full color suit. See, they used real capes, today the capes all CG.
And weren't those stunt guys from Kojak?
Yes.
Your weapons. One thing from Puzo's script that carried over.
Oh, freeze you turkeys.
Turkeys.
Freeze you turkeys. And I just love this scene so very much.
I'm like, here, I'm gonna get you. Like, haha.
He's just like, oh,
Hi, how are you?
Bad vibrations.
bad vibrations.
New York uniforms.
This is legit good comedy in this movie. Look at my head.
First bottle's on him. Do it.
So there's actually the 3-hour cut. There's an extended scene here. This extends. But if you also look closely, you can see how they digitally put the blue back in his outfit.
Yeah.
Child abuse.
coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, this 3-hour cut. This is all extended. Literally saved the cat from the tree. I wanted to show there's no job too big or too small for Superman.
I just saw.
She slaps her. Oh, Jesus.
And this guy who's talking right now, he's Australian. They had to dub his voice.
The old Air Force one.
Yeah.
I think it was in commission in 1972
I think so, yeah.
for Nixon, and then it was retired in 2001, first term of George W. Bush.
Mm-hmm. And another blooper coming up, the camera lens is backwards, so when you see Superman, his S is backwards. You see it. Let's see, kind of better. Look at his S right here.
I think Jimmy Carter
Backwards.
was
He
president.
was president at the time. This
Yeah.
was made.
Love this.
Why? Just why?
No, that's- Some.
Just what?
I ain't saying what it is. Just
Worst actor ever.
And this is special edition right here.
Oh yes.
Ah.
This is a scene I really like.
And so Reeve, they thought he was too skinny.
He bulked up, and you know who his trainer was, right?
David Prowse,
He was
Darth Vader.
Vader.
And he gained like what, 30 pounds,
pounds of muscle.
of like pure muscle.
Because he was in, I think he played sports in high school. Another fun fact: we went to Juilliard. It wasn't that friend.
Robin
Robin Williams.
Yeah. What a weird duo that is.
They were really
Superman and Peter
He's
Pan.
actually the godfather to Robin Williams' son.
That's nice. That's that's beautiful.
And funny story, Rob, when they both became popular, they were out in the streets of Harlem one night because Juilliard's near Harlem. Some black lady was like, "Look, it's Superman and Popeye! Superman and Popeye!"
If it was me, I would have been like a Superman and Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Well, this was way before you did Peter
Oh,
Pan.
before Hulk.
This
Yeah.
was like right after Superman. Oh,
Okay.
right after Popeye. I should say.
Popeye, so 1980, 81, I guess.
Well, Robin Williams called Christopher Reeve up for tips on the wire work for Hook.
Cool. Interesting. Much taller than Williams, too.
Oh, yeah. But there's the HBO documentary there, Marlon Brando, Christopher Reeve, they're showing the home footage of them being at the baptism.
Oh, that's
It was they had a nice friendship, but I'll tell you, I think it was also with Christopher Reeve that Robin Williams saved his sanity after that accident.
Oh, you heard about the joke that he played in, right? So, so Christopher Reeve was in the hospital. He didn't see anybody for a couple of weeks. Robin was one of the first people to meet him, but he didn't know it was Robin. Robin comes in and dressed as a doctor, as a Russian doctor, as a Russian gynecologist.
from 9 months.
9 months. Yeah, that's what I was
That's
wondering.
what he based his character
That's
off
awesome.
of.
Okay.
So when he walked in, he played a joke. He didn't know it was him. And when he took off his mask, he said that's the first time He left. Another funny story because Christopher Reeve was actually starting to get mobility back. Oh, really quick. There's a big cameo right here, the special edition. If you look and listen really quickly.
I'm looking in the reflection to see Richard Donner.
No, you don't need to see my reflection.
Oh.
There's Richard Donner right here.
Oh, that's good.
That special edition. So the story is they were at a restaurant and Christopher Reeve started to get mobility back in his legs and his fingers. So they were at dinner one night and he's like, Robin, you gotta come, big dinner. And he goes, look at this. They can move his finger. And Marlon goes, really? I thought you were gonna go, gotcha. So that was their relationship.
That's so good. And so Luther's supposed to be bald, and he has a bunch of wigs.
Yeah, that's part of the canon because he didn't want to wear a bald cap, but he only did in one scene to do that at the end.
But it's weird because he's got apparently he has a wig on while he's swimming.
Yeah.
With a cap on. Okay.
Figure that out. They made it part of the story, you know?
Yeah. That's a great set.
I do.
Yeah.
All fine.
You know what?
I mean, that's prime real estate down there.
Yeah.
It is prime real estate. I would like to buy
Subterranean.
it. Yes, subterranean. 200 feet below Park
He's
Avenue.
probably not even paying rent for utilities.
I've lived there.
In the city, where's
Why
that word
not?
coming from?
Well, where he must be paying for electricity, or maybe there's a generator. I don't know. Otis in the pool. He's eating a candy apple.
Yeah, he is. I think so.
It floods.
Jim Bowers, that's his website, Cape Wonder. He actually knew Dick Donahue very well. Really nice guy. He gets all the exclusive pictures and artwork. I should check it out.
Tim Bowers.
Jim Bowers.
Jim Bell. Hmm. They wanted a couple actors for Perry White too. Jason
He was-
Robards.
He was a replacement to Jack.
Mm.
He was perfect.
I
Yeah.
love this right here. This work. He was going to answer it. What's his favorite baseball team?
Maybe the Yankees.
What's Metropolis's team? They have they have sports.
I may change it over it's changed in the comics over the years.
Yeah, a lot of times. God did this story since God talked to Moses.
But I know that meant, well, at least Ben still they made him a Royals fan. Yeah. He's from Kansas.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, even though I'm a Yankees fan, I think I would rate Superman as a Royals fan too.
Well, Henry Cavill became a Royals fan because of that, because he's from Kansas. This is all set.
God, I'm wondering about the baseball royalties of superheroes. I mean, Superman, Royals, Punisher, Spider-Man from Mets.
Well, I know in The Dark Knight Rises they have a football team.
I like her apartment, which is out by it's like a penthouse or something.
On a reporter's on a journalist's salary.
Probably not very high, but that's like a multi-million-dollar.
Yeah, well, probably is given to her from her parents.
She's like,
This was all the screen.
she's the proto Carrie Bradshaw.
I liked her a lot in Black Christmas.
Yo, Black Christmas, I love her in Black Christmas.
Yeah, she was great.
She stole every scene she was in that movie.
We wanted Carrie Fisher to be Lois. Didn't work out.
Yeah, I think she would have been too young at the time.
There's also a really good Christopher Reeve movie. It was made for TV. Actually played a pedophile. It's called Bump in the Night. It's really his performance. is amazing.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen many non-Superman remakes.
As far as non-Superman work, I've seen him in Village of the Damned with Mark Hamill, Kirstie Alley.
That was like right before he
He
got hurt.
also the
Yes.
Children of the Corn sequel.
No,
No, Village of the Damned was that.
I saw him in Village of the Damned, which he filmed before he got paralyzed, but it came out after he got paralyzed.
After he
So
got
this is all. He's great.
He
And
did
then,
a TV remake of Rear Window.
Yes.
He was
When
in a
he was
wheelchair.
paralyzed.
Right.
And then I remember seeing him in an episode of Fairy Tale Theater.
Yes, well, because
Sleeping Beauty.
Shelley Duvall produced that series.
Yeah.
She was part of Robin. Robin did the
Popeye.
Frog Prince.
Yeah. And which one did he do?
He did Sleeping Beauty.
That's right.
He played the prince.
I remember those.
I used to borrow those from the library all the time.
Yeah, I used to have that for the local video store.
Hmm.
He did this series called Black Fox, which was really good. Funny enough, the year before he got paralyzed, he did a movie called Above Suspicion,
Hmm.
where he gets shot in the stomach and becomes paralyzed from the waist
Wow.
down.
That's
And
crazy.
that was with Kim Cattrall.
What year was that?
Well, he got paralyzed, I think, in '94.
5, I think.
It was 94, 95, so it was
Yeah.
the year before that.
Actually, a young Kim Cattrall would have been a good voice.
Linda Florentino was on my list when they were rebooting.
For Men in Black?
Yeah.
Hmm.
She was, Sandra Bullock almost
Yes.
was. Kate Beckinsale almost was.
Sandra Bullock.
I could see Sandra Bullock
Never
doing
would.
it. Same with Linda Fiorentino.
But Elizabeth Tulloch, who plays Superman Rose, she is phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Probably my favorite. Getting to my favorite.
I think as far as live action goes, for me it's Erica Durant. For me it's Thatcher, Adams, and
Adams, you know what the problem is? I never believed in their chemistry.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it. This I believe.
She was a good reporter. Like, she seemed like a good reporter.
Yeah, I mean, I just like I said, the story and the service to the story.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in their love at all. This I did.
Rashida Jones might be good, but she's kind of comedic.
I never knew the whole thing with the lead and kryptonite why they have so much trouble.
Well, because his eyes are X-ray, and X-rays can't see through lead.
Right.
It's the lead.
yeah, when you go go to the dentist, they put the lead line
Sure,
bib
yeah.
on you.
It was,
but the kryptonite and lead.
well, it's shielded because it's radiation. Radiation is concealed by lead.
Oh, Tolkien is my other favorite. That was one of those.
Yeah. So,
But for me, overall, best one is Dana Delaney.
oh, yeah,
Great
I
voice.
think she could have been a good live action.
yeah, she could have been. I agree. Okay,
Krypton.
Girl. Putting that back.
Yeah, like looking back at what was the fucking so like they put the curl on him when he's Clark and then slip back when
Slip back
he's
to Carrie. I didn't like the suit. I didn't like the suit. The S was humongous.
Wait, Lois and Clark?
But the first episode, the first 3 episodes, he wore 3 different suits. He had shoulder pads and one, and he didn't.
Although I must say, in this Smallville series, they've used the Lois of what's his name again? Dean Cain was in.
He was in the show.
So was Christopher Reeve.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, he just said he never lies, which is totally a lie. He's always constantly lying as, you know, being.
I mean,
Clark Kent.
journalistic integrity.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. No point. But the thing I love the most is that he said, "I'm here to fight for truth, justice, and the American way." She thinks it's a joke, and he goes, "No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm deathly serious." And you can't say that. You can't say American way anymore.
He was co-created by a Canadian anyway.
Yeah, well, there were 2 Jewish kids, you know, who this was the image, you know, because Jerry Siegel's father was killed in a robbery. Yeah, so he wanted to create a character that was bulletproof. You know, so Superman didn't fly either. You know, when first came out, it wasn't until the radio show that they didn't fly.
He did. Wait, did he? He didn't leave in the Fleischer cartoon.
He did too. He flies.
He says
the radio
Peter
in
Pan
a fairy tale.
Yeah, that's it.
Meaning like this is no fairy tale.
with
He's
Peter
looking
Pan.
to take
He has
off
his best friend.
When I was playing for the band,
That's
yeah.
very true. And Hook is very low rated on Rotten Tomatoes. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it was not a correct Dolly when it came
And
out.
Steven Spielberg said that's one of the movies he hated making.
It's so much fun.
It
It's
is.
ridiculous.
I feel like much like the Goonies, it's one of those movies where if you saw it as a kid, you probably like it as an adult.
Is it like
Yeah.
Peter Pan?
Yeah.
The music,
True.
especially when he thinks of his son flies off.
That I think is my favorite John Williams score. Tied with Jurassic Park.
I would say I would actually say this is my favorite John Williams score.
More
Yeah.
than Star Wars.
I didn't
Yeah,
score.
I
It's,
just think more than
it's a
Star
good
Wars.
score, but it's a great theme. That's the main
Yeah,
title.
The main theme, the love theme, the Kryptonian theme.
Yeah.
Now, Star Wars has a good theme. I mean, don't get me wrong, Star Wars is great too.
Uh-huh.
But I love this soundtrack. I love the John Williams song. This is everything and stuff.
Oh, no,
It's hard
the
to say.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. Twin Towers.
But we may have to do a 30th anniversary book commentary.
I will be up. I am up for that.
Yeah, that will be. I
know
think.
everything about that too.
I think
I think that
November.
would be bangerang.
What, Jimmy?
I think that would be bangerang.
Perfect.
I love the toy line. That
I had
I had a couple of those.
Yet the toy line, the only one resembled maybe Captain Hook, but the Peter Pan had no
That was
resemblance.
Robert
And
Williams.
it was also a pain in the ass because he comes with his backpack that you had to put the wires in the
Zip
zip
line.
line.
Yeah, that was annoying.
That was annoying.
I had the raft.
I had the sword.
I had the sword. I had
I had
the,
the sword too.
the multiple
Sword
hook.
had the raft.
I had the Super Nintendo. I had the Super Nintendo game.
Had
Does
that
anyone
too.
remember the Peter Pan TV show from Fox with Tim
Peter
Curry?
Pan and the Pirates.
Oh, the
There you go.
animated? Yeah, that was a great one.
I had that toy line too.
That was like right before Hook or around the same time.
Around the same time.
Yeah, because my mom kept buying me all the toys. I'm like, oh, here's Peter Pan. Oh, look. Great one. I remember the NES game. That was terrible. So if you also look in this upcoming scene, if you look, Christopher is kneeling forward. His legs are out. They're hunched over.
Pretty good acting. Or maybe it's not acting.
Yeah, they were on wires.
Yeah.
This took a month to shoot.
A month?
I wanted to get it right. And also the scene when he catches her and so they had to cut this out of the movie. She was supposed to start singing "Can You Read My Mind?"
Right.
And they thought it was stupid.
It
You see how
was.
he was leaning over? Like
She has a little poem.
So instead they said it could be internal in her mind. But there's someone actually, I forget the woman who sang, there's actually the song, "Can You Read My Mind?"
Mm.
And it was the #1 hit.
Yeah, written by Williams. He did the music.
Oh, don't worry, I got you.
And then they tried to recreate it in Quest for Peace, but it looked so cheap.
Yeah. Still love Quest for Peace because I think the UN speech scene is still one of the best Superman movies.
Is that the one where they take a piece
Piece of
follow
his
of
hair
to hold up?
Create a
the-
nuclear man.
Yeah.
I also mentioned
No, that
Mark
holds up the weight.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
also a blooper there too. Before they cut the rope or the hair, the bottom falls out before the weight can fall into it.
I do like the Nuclear Man, voiced by
Gene
Gene
Hackman.
Hackman.
I met Mark Pillow too, who was an ex-male dancer.
Is that Nuclear Man?
Mark Pillow. I have pictures of him too.
Cool. What was he nice?
Oh, incredibly nice.
That's good.
He used to scare the crap out of me when I was a kid. 'Cause he could cut Superman in the nails. I was like, oh crap.
Plus that perfectly coiffed blonde.
Someone in this Facebook group for superpowers figures created a custom Nuclear Man.
I saw. I
It's-
have that picture.
You're on there? Yeah. It's cool.
In the
They actually
top-
brought Nuclear Man into the comic books recently. Brian Michael Bendis did it.
What's this? Oh god, so that were names. They brought him back in the comics. They gave who's the guy who just wrote on Superman? Famous guy did Marvel too. I can't think of his name right now. He's very popular. They dared him to do it.
Bring nuclear man to the comics.
Yeah.
Someone could just bring Max Shredder to the comics.
Oh, maybe we'll see him in Batman '89.
Roll around a higher wing.
Well, we'll probably see his corpse.
And even this, like this is a set, like it's not CG, like it adds so much, ambience. So good. And this is with the key and the love story.
It's kind of weird with the voiceover.
Well, it was better than her singing.
I bet.
Lovely scene.
Yeah, now I'm getting the hook imagery.
Just the way he lands. Perfect. Doesn't jump off like a rock. It doesn't land and break the ground. That's nice. So this is a movie screen that she's reacting to. This is cool. It worked for the time.
Hmm.
What is Superman?
Well, still one shot. It's cool.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Very cool.
Right here, to me, is one of the single best pieces of acting anyone's ever done. Look right here, he's punching. And then he takes up the glass. He stands up tall.
Yeah.
And looks like a completely different person.
It's just-
Now I'm excited.
so-
I've come to tell you one thing. Cheeseburger.
An orange juice freshly squeezed.
And Hackman was hesitant about the role because he was largely a dramatic actor. He didn't want to be like known for doing comedy. I think he thought it
Donner
would
was
hurt his reputation.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein with the exception at the time.
Was that 76?
74.
Classic Otis.
And
That's his Bob the Goon, I guess.
more, that's much. Yep.
He wanted Nicholson to play Luther too. He was in the running.
In the late 90s.
Yeah.
No, I think back then.
I think it's because I remember hearing about him being considered for Superman Lives,
Yeah.
but I didn't hear anything about him being considered for this one.
Mm.
Do you know who was Jimmy Olsen in Superman Lives?
Chris Rock?
Yes.
That would have been kind of cool. Yeah.
I don't get why would the kryptonite? Well, I guess it was particles that blown up.
So
Yeah.
it's pieces of his home world. So like he gets his power from the sun radiates the pieces of Krypton. And because his body has the same molecular structure as what's on Krypton, it's deadly to him. It's pretty much radiation poisoning, more or less. But we don't have the same molecular structure, so we wouldn't get it. And there's actually different versions of kryptonite.
Of course there is.
There's
Yes.
red, there's yellow.
Red, yellow, gold, blue, black, white.
Blue kryptonite pretty much makes him human, exposed.
Blue kryptonite eventually became Bizarro's kryptonite.
Red kryptonite
I think
strips
gold-
his power.
I would say gold. I think it was
No, red
gold.
makes
That's gold. Gold, yeah. Red kryptonite originally in the comics had an unknown effect. The one time he grew a tail. And then red kryptonite pretty much just made his ambitions more, so he came back.
Okay.
Which is why I wanted in Superman 3 instead of
Red
using-
kryptonite
it should have been
was-
red kryptonite, but instead it was tar. It was an
Tar-based.
unknown, yeah, it was an unknown element, and then they put tar in it, and then the fire's like, I don't know, maybe he'll smoke it.
Interesting.
So,
This is definitely one of the scenes from the special.
no, this isn't a theatrical. This is theatrical.
And I.
There's longer scenes in the special, and the 3-hour cut has a lot longer scenes. But they shot. Another cameo right here.
Oh, Hagman, Larry Hagman.
Here's what I do.
And Dallas.
Like, I mean, older story, you can
Are gonna,
test the rock. Yeah.
I suggest a vigorous chest massage and mouth to mouth.
And face.
Oh, it's a great theme for Otis, by the
Oh,
way.
I love it.
Kind of like the Ewoks theme.
Yeah.
She was on Playboy, I think, around this time.
Yep. And she's also in Slaughterhouse 5.
Did you meet her, Vinny?
No. I have ordered it.
She also appeared on Fairy Tale Theater along with Ned Beatty.
All connected.
Somebody heard.
You're along with Ned Beatty and Ruth.
I did it.
I did it, Mr. Lupo.
Always reminds me of one of the Three Stooges. Curly.
Long arm.
He could have been a third wet bandit. Otis wants to sit long. They're very, very long.
Is it trending?
Mhm.
It works.
Yeah, good chemistry.
Where did Luther have all this stuff? That's what I want to know.
I think it's the best.
I didn't get the ambulance. I understand maybe the ambulance truck, and they got a whole house.
But how do you get so fast?
I don't know. I get all arguing with it. What are we doing?
He punched him in the eye.
Kind of deserved it. What Luther asked? Luther asked?
Get
Something
the,
bad happens to
get the
you.
long arm.
Okay, I guess one was Army, one is Navy. Oh, look, the Hoover Dam.
This is the Hoover Dam.
Where's the damn bat?
As you see, we got silent here. It's because it's such a good movie. Don't you agree?
All that talk just ruined it. No, I'm kidding. Good acting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Is he being disciplined by Barry White?
What?
Is
No.
he being disciplined?
No. He's trying to tell me he needs more grit. He's like,
Yeah.
oh,
He's just
you
a
got
very-
back to doing it.
He's just very direct. Very kind of rough.
Oh man. This-
Little shot.
All one shot. It's the change.
Yeah. Some change just like that.
It's like
I love
Midtown.
this shot right here on the set. They built half of the set so he could just fly right up. Look at that.
Hmm.
Awesome.
And that's Park Avenue.
Yep. All right, cutscene coming up. Yep, this is all special edition right
Oh,
here.
I love it.
Which they should have left in the theatrical cut.
Great.
I actually got so used to watching this version that when I saw it in theaters, It was so jarring to see this part missing.
Yeah, I remember I was watching.
Same with the train scene.
Yeah, I was watching this on TV one night, and I was like, "Who is this?"
It's great. Just yes.
That still looks good. Those effects.
Yeah. Still good. Why'd they leave it out? I don't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's like a one less than like it's like 1 minute scene.
That looks real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks real.
I don't know how they did that back then.
2 separate shots.
That's great.
Is it when it covered in snow?
Yes.
Back there.
Right there, they're waiting for their.
For some reason, they're able to have a snow machine in sewers.
Oh, yes. So those.
Well, I knew about this scene because I have all the trading cards from this movie.
Cool.
And it's called The Icy Peril. I don't remember this in the movie. I remember this special edition.
Were those by Tops?
Maybe these were old, bro. Like, my mom found it at like a flea market.
Oh, wow.
I have this. I got all the. I have all the Batman 1989 ones too.
I had those returns.
I've got returns trading cards.
Returns had two versions: the regular paper, then the glossy ones.
I used to have the regular paper. I still have the glossy.
I don't really think I have them anymore. I gotta
I
buy some.
used to have Ninja Turtles 1 and 2 and Dick Tracy and book trading cards, but I regretfully threw them all.
Oh.
They regretfully all got thrown
I
away.
had the Ghostbusters 2 trading
I
cards.
have
Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters
2. I had some Dick Tracy.
I have also have Gremlins and the Ninja Turtles cartoon.
It's great.
Oh, what is that you got there?
Ah,
Batman Returns trading cards?
Oh,
I think it's the storybook.
nice. It's in good
I'll
condition.
keep this for Connor someday. Maybe he'll be appreciate it.
I think he will.
Read him as a bedtime story.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
I used to have a Batman Returns poster over my bed, and no lie, every night I would kiss Catwoman goodnight. Good night, Catwoman.
Up here goes the weapons.
There's a guy in the back who looked like Orson Welles. I know. They wanted Orson Welles for Jor-El, actually. Oh, John Ratzenberger. Yep. A young John Ratzenberger.
He also was in Superman too.
Was it different character, though, right?
Yeah, doing the space shuttle.
And then Ratzenberger and Benny would do Toy Story 3 together.
This was an ingenious idea though. I just didn't like that they recycled it for Superman Returns.
Land.
I don't hate Superman Returns, I very much enjoy it, but it was trying too much to do this.
Yes.
Mhm.
That was the biggest thing.
Wasn't it supposed to be a direct sequel to this?
Yes. So the first two.
First two, they
First
were
two.
going 3 and 4.
Okay.
And then I heard that Brian Singer was planning for Zod to come out of the Fortress, out of Superman 2, and he would come out of the Fortress of Solitude.
That would've been Who did they want for Zod?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
That was just, I think Jude Law was one of them. Jude Law was also.
I heard about Jude Law.
Yeah.
That could have been good.
Jude Law was up for Superman at one point. Freddie Frazier was up for Superman at one point.
Tim Allen, I think they wanted for Lex Luthor.
I don't think I can see Law as Superman. I definitely saw it.
Yeah. I interviewed him actually.
Is it Allen?
No, Jude Law, yeah. It was a roundtable interview with other journalists. He was very cool. Very taller than I thought. I think he was about 6 feet.
Well, Wolfgang Peterson at one point was supposed to direct Batman vs Superman.
Yep.
And it was supposed to be Josh Hartnett.
Too skinny.
And then wasn't Akiva Goldsman write the script?
That was very close to happening. That was extremely close. Especially we just came off of Troy.
I could see Hartnett as Superman actually, but he needs to
bulk.
bulk.
Batman. It was Colin Farrell and Josh Hartnett at one point. Jude Law.
I would like to live on Otisburg. I think we should all be citizens of Otisburg.
Let's do it.
So I just want to add in that, like, when they cast Superman, I always appreciate it when they go with actors, unknown actors, because otherwise you just sort of see like that celebrity on screen instead of Superman. That's how I feel personally.
Before they wanted like Robert Redford,
Yeah.
Thunderbolt,
Stallone,
Clint Eastwood, yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Stallone wanted it, but
He wanted, but they said no. He
Yeah.
wanted it back because he's a big Superman fan. But they weren't going to give it to him.
Oh,
There
John
it is.
Ratzenberg.
And that's the guy next to him was from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was
Oh,
Arcane Removed.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, Donner had to fight for Reeve to be Superman.
This is about 2 or 3 years before Cheers premiered.
Yep.
4 years.
Oh yeah, 82. So many lamps. I just realized.
It ain't vanity. It's happening.
Hackensack, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, that would have been close. Wait a minute. Hackensack, New Jersey.
Hackensack.
Yeah, but it would also hit here.
I love Lex Luthor, how he's able to trick Superman with the mind. I love the mind over the muscle. Yeah.
Whoop, right there.
Yeah, it's the only movie they used kryptonite in.
No, Superman 3.
Well,
Green Crypt.
they're, not the. This is the first one they really used like kryptonite too. Well, yeah, no, it's Superman 3 at the end.
The rays of kryptonite.
The
was
rays, yeah, that's true.
Still kryptonite.
Yeah.
And kryptonite in Superman Returns.
Yep.
Kryptonite Island.
I always just loved how Jimmy had to play it off like, I'm smarter than you. And I know I'm smarter than you.
You guys remember watching Christopher Reeve in Smallville?
Of course.
Yes.
I remember when the John Williams theme, just a few notes just played or whatever. As soon as you saw Christopher Reeve, I just freaked out.
It was also cool because it was Chris Ray there literally passing the torch.
It was so cool to see.
I also like in the end of that episode where they had, Christopher Reeve and Tom Welling speaking about the cause.
Yeah, for the foundation. And I have a bunch of those dog tags that I bought.
Oh, just let him go.
I think he'd want to watch him die.
Oh yes, just like seeing over there, like, wanting to save my mother. Never breaks a promise.
Yeah, I'm surprised Lex took her back in the second movie.
It breaks the promises, it breaks next. Last consent.
So isn't that considered rape?
It's a good deleted scene. I don't know if you ever saw it, but there was a deleted scene where Luther has this pit, and I guess there was like lions or tigers in it. And because she saved him, he throws her down the pit. And the Superman comes in and saves her. And then when he picks her up and he's looking at Luther, he goes, "By the way, Miss Titsmocker, your mother sent you love." I thought that was awesome. Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
on the special features of this one, and it's in the 3-hour cut. They put it on there.
And then he takes them to
Prison. That was the next scene. And this was supposed to lead into the sequel when he throws it into space and breaks out the Kryptonians. Hence why it's at the beginning of the Donner Cut. That was the original concept of killing.
Which version is best before the Donner Cut to watch? Like which
Special edition, this.
this version? Okay.
I love this flying sequence right here. Still stands up, I believe. Look at the close-ups, and it looks like really flying, man. Especially right here, the way the camera moves.
That does,
Look at it.
it looked good.
They don't do this anymore. It's all CG. You don't even see his face. Look how he just, but he moves his arms, man.
Second highest grossing film of 1978 after
13 weeks at number 1.
Grease was number 1.
That looks so real.
Oh no. Time to get them both.
Hmm.
Tries to bring Faulkner back.
But like that's a whole set. They built that to fly through.
Oh, the Golden Gate Bridge. I've driven across that bridge. Oh yeah.
And then the 3-hour cut, you see the sun fall. And this is good.
They're all Girl Scouts.
Elmer.
They had to build all that. That's crazy. I think the biggest and most expensive miniature was the train Dick Tracy. Like 7,000 hours to build for like 8 seconds of footage.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, that's one of my childhood. Like, still one of your comic book movies and a childhood favorite.
Did you know that Warren Beatty had to play Dick Tracy in a short for an interview? So
With Leonard Maltin. With Leonard Maltin.
You know about that? Okay.
I've seen it.
So you can just retain the rights.
I heard he was very difficult to work with.
Either with the director.
Yeah, but on that and Bullworth,
Yeah.
other stuff.
What was it? Something that one he did with Dustin Hoffman.
Ishtar.
Ishtar, yes.
That's terrible.
Was this in the original?
This was. It looks real, man. It looks real.
I always feel like there's always something like when Jimmy Olsen's taking care of puppets.
I'm very upset that Snyder killed off Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen works so much. He's our Wayne as a kid. He's the kid's relation. He's Superman.
He's Superman's pal.
He is. He did an awesome job with him in the comics.
Well, actually, he's Paladin, he's his Robin.
Yeah.
And his Buck.
And he's Clark's best friend. He asks if everyone's okay.
You know, they say there's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Well, there's only one friendly neighborhood Superman.
So in the 3-hour cut, he actually pauses, turns around, and says, "Okay, Jimmy, get a shot." And he takes a shot of the damn while it's exploding. I can understand why that wasn't in the cut.
Oh man.
This was done with a seesaw.
You can tell that's all.
Back in the day, it was great, you know, and it's shot at a high rate, so it looks slow.
Oh no. That reminds me of that ride at Universal Studios.
Earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
That was
It
great.
became something else.
In Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Disaster with the rock.
But they filmed it in Beverly Hills Cop 3
Yeah.
as Alien Attack.
Yeah. Christopher Walken was the director of that ride.
Earthquake, King Kong, Jaws.
Confrontation.
Oh.
That's what it's called.
Now you get the Six Flags Great Adventure. Who has not Superman Ultimate Life?
I've ridden Superman at Six Flags in Six Flags Darien Lake. That's in Rochester. And then also at Six Flags America in Maryland, just outside DC.
You remember the Paramount Park?
Oh, Kings Dominion.
I remember that.
I remember that too.
They had a James Bond ride.
Oh yes.
The Forrest Gump experience.
I didn't see that.
They had the
Wings
wings
in
in
Toronto.
I was in Toronto.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in I think Richmond.
No,
There was-
I
there was
remember
one
going
other-
there to Canada. And they had
Paramount Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah.
Have you been to Canada's Wonderland?
Jimmy, have you been to what was it?
Paramount Canada's Wonderland, or
Yep, absolutely. And actually, the funny thing is they used to play the Superman theme by John Williams. And every single time they started playing it, I just feel like I was Superman. And I would just like start running through like the park, just and pretending to like open up my shirt, even though it was a t-shirt or whatever.
Nice.
this thing. I love the color. right
But
here.
Paramount Park was on the East Coast somewhere. I forget where.
I think it was in Virginia.
Virginia.
Kings Dominion. It was Kings Dominion.
And actually, it's no longer Paramount Canada's Wonderland. It's just Wonderland now.
Yeah, it's no longer Paramount Kings Dominion, just Kings Dominion.
Paramount gave away those into Cedar Point, I think.
Yeah, and then, I think
Cedar
Six Flags used to be owned by Warner, but
They
now
still are.
really, I thought Warner doesn't own them anymore, and they just licensed out the.
Well, they license
Characters.
out. They have to license it. It's sad. It's always sad.
It's just how it's Washington, you know? Yeah, the one people he wants to say he can't. And it shocked a lot of people in the theater at the time. They didn't think they were going to do this, you know? And this right here too looks awesome, not CG. You know, that suit, even though it's old, it still works great, you know?
Was it spandex, right?
Yeah.
The Man of Steel suit has too much going on, with all the lines.
Trying to go for that biomechanical, because it's trying to go for that biomechanical.
Yeah, I like the bright colors. I've always
Yeah.
liked the bright colors.
So sad.
Brandon Routh's suit is pretty cool.
The S was just too small.
I like the belt with the S. I don't know something about it.
And the cape, I didn't like that it was bright on the inside and dark on the outside. I like bright colors all the way.
And what I didn't like either was that there was no yellow S on the back of it, right?
No, I mean, originally there wasn't anyway. I don't mind the yellow S stuff being back in the cape, but
Yeah.
it's a hard time for the people, the CGI that on that. But if the cape's flat, I don't mind that there's no S on the back.
Same here.
I like it.
I mean, the
It
animated
was
series.
for here.
I mean, the animated series didn't have it either.
No.
He had it in Super Friends, I think.
Yes, yeah, that's
The Superpowers figure did have it. Comic books, even when he was brought to life after Reign, he had it. I don't know, just some good, nice little touch.
yeah, it is, but I could, to me, it's
Take it or leave it.
if it's on, fine. If not, I'm okay with it. I think it works best with Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah.
The way the S.
Yeah.
I feel Brendan Routh's costume is my least favorite Superman costume, live action. Brendan Routh, yeah, Superman Returns.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't like that. It was like bright and then dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, it looked almost like the reds almost looked all brown. That stuff.
Oh man, it's like anger and fueling.
Mhm.
Then we see Jor-El again.
Nice touch. Too.
I edited this picture. That's what I wanted to touch. Perfect. That I would do.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what I wanted the National to look like.
Let me show Jimmy.
That one before.
You did this?
Well, I took it and I edited it, yeah.
Jimmy, little picture. An edited suit
I
for.
did hit the screen.
Oh,
Perfect.
Oh wow.
yeah. Vivid.
Yeah.
It's good.
Someone did it, but I wiped it. This whole ending was supposed to be parts here.
Wait, the beginning?
Donna.
It was,
This.
okay.
This right here was supposed to be the ending of Donna, and then they took it, put it in the first one. There's two versions that are shot.
Hmm.
Look back, I would get rid of it.
But the one thing is that man never killed.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's how that's its ass.
Almost. Only way I would do it, I'll probably do it is like if I followed it up with the Exile.
He killed in the cops. He killed God in the cops.
Yeah.
Of course, the Warner Brothers directors want to go with Michael B. Jordan for the next Superman.
That was odd.
But that was odd, and then go completely.
There's two black superstars in the world. I'm all for Falzon and Calvin Ellis, but he Coates is writing one with J.J. Abrams, which is doing a black Kal-El. So I can't. It doesn't make any sense, you know. When you have two African Americans, Superman, Falzon, and Calvin Ellis,
Right,
which are
they
canon,
also want to
why
go-
do you need to change?
They want to go off the comics.
Isn't there also
they,
there's
they want Krypton to say, no, Krypton exploded.
Yeah.
No, Krypton exploded.
Yeah, did Abrams do one where Krypton didn't explode?
So Abrams' version of Flyby, which you can actually see pictures online, Henry Cavill issued that, and Brandon Routh as well. Henry Cavill actually got the quote. McGee, first it was Brett Ratner supposed to correct it, but it was McGee, and then McGee hated flying, so he wanted to go to Australia. She put a film there. And then Brett Ratner came on, and then Brett Ratner swapped the singer for X-Men 3 for the thing with Superman Returns. So in the Flyby version, Robert Downey Jr. was and Krypton didn't explode. There was Civil War. Find out the twist at the end is that Luthor was gone. Which I wouldn't want.
Wasn't there?
That's so stupid.
Isn't there a black superhero that they thought might be a good Superman?
Icon?
Yeah, I think it was Icon. Yeah, I heard that they said they might turn that into-
Milestone. He was the Milestone.
But on Facebook.
Sure.
This. Love the landing and the table.
So good. So
And then looking.
good. Well, right here, look at that. That's really them. A couple of hundred feet in the air, landing.
I think he did that in Eastern Penitentiary in Philadelphia. They did. Oh,
So I always see them roll.
The bald cap. That's a bald cap.
We're all in this together.
Good night.
Just a gentleman. Just a gentleman.
oh, I love this part at the end.
They even had some interview with the vampire too.
Oh,
Looking into the cameras.
mm. Nice.
Although Brendan Brown tried to do it too, but not the way.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite movie of all time.
Wow. It gets better every time.
It does. There's a lot of things you get to notice more. And there's all those little, like I said, eventually you can watch the 3-hour edition, see all the stuff they put in there.
Mm.
Yeah, so I still personally feel this movie stands the test of time.
I just hope Richard Donner is happy with what we did here tonight.
Well, it's the movie, out of everything he's done, this is always going to be the one he's done, like, seminal, Much as the Lethal Weapons and the Goonies and all that, this is the movie that really put him on the map. And I personally feel, set, like Will said, set the bar for everything. I think it's one of the most important films of film. This is actually in the
Library of Congress.
Library of Congress. Yeah. That's a huge thing, man.
This is responsible for what we see today in superhero films.
Yeah. This is the perfect blueprint. This is what
Yeah.
every movie wants to do. Except, Superman movies today.
That's pretty.
But you would really love Superman the most. It has a lot of appeal to sex.
Oh, wow.
It does its own force, but it respects all the stuff that's come before. And doesn't overly do it like Superman Returns.
I'm going to get into it. Definitely.
You would love it. It's excellent.
Yeah.
First 5 minutes alone, I was like, sold.
So does it take place right when Clark Kent arrives in Metro?
They do, I don't know what's supposed to, but they do like a little opening, like a montage of like the story, but like their version of it, coming to Earth, this first appearance, and they do it so well.
And the actor, the Superman actor's okay?
Tyler does a really good job.
I really do think he's the best live action Superman since Christopher Reeve. Best representation, I feel.
Weird because everyone was so against him. I don't like what they did with him on Supergirl though. But here he really has it feels like Superman. It's hard to explain. Like this is Superman, and I feel like everything else tries to feel like this. Tyler's the closest to having this feeling. Like as soon as you see him, smiley face, warm, approachable. I'm sold.
Okay.
Did you not like his first appearance in Supergirl?
I thought it was cool. I hated the costume. I hated those stupid.
Yeah.
hats.
Yeah.
I just obviously it was Supergirl's show, so she had to take the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Beat him in a fight, and I'm like, that's not how it's.
The first appearance I really appreciate because after they saved the plane, spoilers, what happened was this family's like, wow, it's Superman and Supergirl. And Supergirl looks at Superman and says, I like to say hi afterwards. And then he says, me too. And they walk over and they're like, that's so quaint. That's so nice. That's so wholesome, That's why I love in my Superman personally.
CEO, and he literally shook everyone's hand. Saying,
Exactly. I love that. Such a Boy Scout.
your service. And I'm like, that's Superman. He's just
So Superman.
Superman is the fireman of the DC universe. He's the responder,
He's the leader of the Justice League.
Yeah, well, and then that's why, some people will debate, everyone thinks Batman is, but Batman's not a leader, he's not a leader like that. Superman is, the three aspects of the Justice League are Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. You have Superman who's the beacon. He's the one that brings everyone in and goes, listen, you have superpowers, why don't you join us? We can do good for the world. And Wonder Woman's like, okay, I'm going to take your powers and we're going to harness them and we're going to show them how to use them better. Batman's like, I want to know who you are, what you do, and so I can find a weakness just in case you turn bad. That's the three of them, you know? Batman is the
He's a tactician, though.
Yeah,
The brains, he's the detective.
strategist,
The brains in the back.
but he's also like the conspiracy theorist, you know? Like, well, it's great you're all doing this, but I want to learn everything about you, you know?
He's also their Rorschach.
Yeah.
If you guys get a chance, read Tom Taylor's Superman, Son of Kal-El. It just came out last week. It's really good.
That was good. I got that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for Superman's movie.
So much. Great to do Brainiac. So I'm so excited about that.
What are we gonna like tell the descript like?
I think they are. I saw some of the pages already, and they even take the shots from this movie with him flying. Like there's a lot of homages in the first issue.
How many issues? What?
No, it's going to be ongoing. It's going to be. This is something for a while people wanted. If you had Batman 66 with Adam West, that was really popular. They did the crossover with Green Hornet. They crossed over with Wonder Woman.
So this is gonna be like a once a month thing.
Once a month thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted so bad. They had a blueprint for it. They were going to do Batman 66 meets George Reeves Superman, but it didn't work out. But this is something people wanted for a long time. Batman 89 with Billy D. Williams taking over as Harvey Dent and continuing Superman 78.
And Sam Hamm, who wrote the screenplay for Batman,
And did the story on
is
Batman
back.
Returns.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm kind of hoping that this goes well, that maybe we'll finally see Keaton's Batman and Reeves Superman team up.
It's looking that way.
We're gonna go to Royal Collectibles that day and get our copies.
That's a good
Well, I go
idea.
to Grasshopper. You know, I go to
Oh,
Grasshopper
yeah.
Comics.
Oh, Wilson Park?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, if you go in, so I had a friend who passed away. I do a charity event. I used to do it. The Randy actually came one year. I just Superman dressed as Ghostbuster. If you go in and you look on the
The
wall,
Xenomorph. Obviously, they have the alien
Yeah.
suit there.
but they have a picture of all of us with my friend. I'm on the picture of all. I'm best friends with everybody there.
They're still open then.
Of course,
That's
yeah.
great. That's great.
I go every week, man.
Yeah, I was actually-
$150 on comics.
Actually, I was just last week. I was there last week picking up Green Arrow, the Green Arrow 8th anniversary issue, and the latest issue of Marvel's Alien.
Yeah, nice. Well, when you go in, look above the counter, you'll see a picture of
All
me
right.
with my friend
All
Steve.
these are trendy.
Or a lot of the DC
Well,
characters. are
Superman
pretty
was
good.
the first. So
38.
you had the pulp characters, which
Right.
paved the way for the Superman. Superman was the first superhero. And
Yeah.
it still works. This is the thing that made me dream big, you know?
Mhm. Well, I was more of a Batman fan, to be
Same
honest.
here.
I'm still looking at Batman's like right there next to Superman. But they're the different sides of the same coin.
Mm.
Light and day. You know?
Yeah, but they're both awesome. They're both fighting
Oh, yeah.
for justice, really.
And I always just hate when it's like, well, you know, and Steve, my friend who passed away, he used to have these like anagrams for heroes. He goes, why would they be villains? He goes, they should be best friends. Like Superman would stand in front of a bullet for Batman, and Batman would throw the kryptonite away for Superman. You know, they make the best team, and they both learn from each other. One of my favorite episodes from Justice League animated is when they thought Superman died, and Batman goes to Superman's gravesite, and he goes, I just want you to know I had all the respect for you. You showed me that justice doesn't always have to come from the dark side. I love that. And I love the episode with Superman dressed up as Batman.
Nighttime.
Yes,
I love that episode.
That's my favorite episode of the animated series. The new Adventures of Batman.
Yes. Yes.
I basically consider it Batman the animated series.
Yeah, it's an extension.
Season 4 and 5.
It's sort of
That's when
reboot. They
Warner
retooled
Brothers
it.
took over Fox, where the CW, well not CW,
The WB.
WB
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
That's why the animation is slightly different. But
Right.
even their World's Finest 3-part thing was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Definitely.
I think that's still the best
That's why
Batman and Superman team up on film.
screen of some
On
sort.
screen, yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted that to be the movie. That's why I said you should have done the World's Finest movie before anything else. Especially the scene where Batman finds out Superman's identity, and he finds the tracking beacon, and he sees him like 100 yards away, and just goes.
And that's how he finds out he's Clark Kent.
Pete.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for tonight.
Of course.
This
Thank you
was
for having us.
awesome as always. You know, I love putting on these shows. These commentaries are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And a fantastic movie by a fantastic director. And we just hope he's watching down on us, and we're doing him proud. You know, we're honoring the man and his memory. So
Best directors who ever lived. hands
yeah,
down.
amazing. Gentlemen, thank you, and you're always welcome. You know that. Jimmy, you too. And if you're ever on the East Coast in New York, you're always welcome to stop by.
If you guys are ever up north, let me know.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Randy Younger. This has been Under the Radar presents Movie Commentaries, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Awesome.